Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are all over the world. Welcome to another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. I'm MK, I'll be one of your casters for tonight. The person camera womaning for the night tonight will be Vanille. How you doing, Vanille? You're doing well. Other caster for me this evening is actually going to be the myth, the man, the legend himself, Rails Barlow.
Hello, MK. How are you doing? I am loving the fact that I'm here and making my quarantine anniversary tournament debut cast on Hard Rain in round 3 between teams I would say Bathtub Water, which is not the name of their team, Hot Dog Water and South Stars. Both these teams are 2-0 MK, and we expect a great home and away match tonight.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to this match all day. I saw it posted and I was excited about it. It's also nice to get past the first custom campaign, Haunted Forest, as we're going into Hard Rain for round 3 of the qualifier. I hope you're excited for this one, Rails, because like I said, I've been looking forward to this all day.
Indeed, I have been as well, and we're going to be going live right now. We are on the North American server first for Team Hot Dog Water. On Survivor side, it's going to be Mars, Vegeta, Wiz, and Goku. And who do we have for the South Stars, MK?
We have Slay, Loud, Q, and I think I don't know how to pronounce GUI.
Gooey. That would be
Gooey,
not
there we go.
on the SI
not,
side.
okay.
Yeah, and the first tank of the game is going to be up extremely early as we see a smoker pull. A little bit delayed going out there in the back onto Mars. Brock almost landing, but Slay is going to have this tank for South Stars first. These teams are ranked number 6 and number 10 in this tournament so far, with South Stars being the higher seed. But I'll say this, MK, they have played specifically with this lineup, but also just together in general over, I don't know how many years it's been at this point, at least 4 or 5. So they're going to be a tough opponent for Team Hot Dog Water here. I think Hot Dog Water can win this, of course, but they need to make a tank like this as close to a no-hitter as possible.
Absolutely. As actually attacks going to come in, they're trying to go for attack. Charge is actually going to come up, misses. The 2-boom goes out, and actually everything is actually shut down, and the charge is just running in, and he's going to die. No rock went out, and the tank's actually down to about 30%. First pass, looking to reposition himself to get a better position on the survivors.
Indeed, he is, and that single boom is going to be cleared just now, but they're doing a good enough job to LOS him 2-second pass, so Slay actually might be forced to commit this in the near future. He's got a Hunter, Smoker, and one other spawn coming into queue as he works the alarm car in. Looks like the survivors are going to be fighting him on the roof here. No real push to the bus or anything like that, or the truck. And he's just going to be rolling in with the cars that he's got in front there, trying to hit one onto the roof, not getting it. He's down to about 4.8k. Nothing really going with these hittables so far, and his support is that 3-cap that I mentioned earlier. He's giving up on the hittables now, though. Rolling in, pushing after Nick, but they're doing a brilliant job of kiting him right until there, as Mars is now going to get the first 2 punches onto her as she's going to go down now, but the tank has 1k HP left. Jockey's going to land. Smoker's going for it, not going to find it. Beautiful skeet going out by Goku right there as the tank tries to cover, but MK, that is 1 down and a punch.
Yes, it is. It was actually not bad on the tank game to commit. The SI looked like they held as long as they could to see if they can get the first in cap and try to capitalize with a dual cap going out. And I did see that the tank did throw a rock, and I believe he cleared the jockey and just tried to get what he could after that, getting 1 more punch.
Indeed, but there's no car in cap, no kill, nothing really like that. And Team Hot Dog Water are looking pretty with this bonus right now, but they have a good amount of hits still to deal with. We are on 1.9, which is also worth the mention here. That boomer is going to get shut down. Charger, Hunter, Spitter for the rest of it, MK.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to go, and looks like they might choose to hold, possibly. Hunter's only thing crouched on the top of the roof. Looks like he's going to run back for a respawn. Health bonus sitting at 621 after the tank, so let's see what this next attack will do. As a final spawn coming up is going to be a Charger, Hunter, Spitter, and a Jockey for this next attack.
Indeed it shall be. So it's a 3-cap instead of that 2-2. Jockey looking to jump in, but the survivors are all inside the house until that charge goes in and almost lands. There is the pounce going out onto Coach for a split second, but really no damage coming off of that. And this is what Team Hot Dog Water really need to do. If they can preserve this bonus, they're still at 615 right now. 61% HP, 94% DP, and they also have their pills. MK, if they can preserve this, that's going to be the ideal start for them, and will put some pressure on Team South Stars to try to match that on their survivor.
Absolutely. Only 6 damage on the bonus from that whole attack, as they all run into the house knowing that there's going to be no Spitter on this next attack, so they shall take it slowly. It's a 3-1 minus the Hunter, so let's wait as survivors slowly clear out the common, as they do not want anything to impede them, as they know this may be the final attack of actually this round if they could take it cleanly. See what they do as they come out.
It could easily W this to the safe room if they don't have Common to fight off or a multi-cap to clear. But here comes the Boomer going and getting a double boom. Charger is going to miss, splitting the survivors down the center. Jockey very quickly dealt with, and the Smoker killed as well. They should be able to fight off most of these Common. Nick is a little hoarded in the back there, but they're going to be making their way to safe room with the SI scrambling to get anything on top of them.
Yes, indeed, Rails. Look at that bonus, 592. It was at 621 after the tank. They took practically no damage, as they're probably going to run into safe room. We're going to see a kind of scattered attack coming in. It's Boomer, Charger, Hunter, and the Spitter just going to hold up. Oh, the Hunter does land, but the Charger only gets a stumble for 4 damage on 2 survivors, and that's going to be the round for Hot Dog Water, bringing their total chapter score to 952 on their home server. They have to be happy with that, Rails.
Indeed, and the MVP is going to Goku and Vegeta, aka Spirit and Zack. That is exactly what you want on that first round. And the thing is, right, the tank on Southstar's side, like, Slay wasn't able to get any of his hittables to the roof to start, right? And then he pushed the Survivor into a corner, but when he got that down, he was down to like 1300 HP. They were looking to get the 3-cap to go in directly after that, but with one spawn even being shut down there, you know, the tank doesn't have enough health to do work on his own or really to corner a pinner that gets cleared, right? So this is going to be real interesting to see exactly what Southstars do on their survivor side. I expect them to fight on the roof here the same way we saw, but if this tank can get a hittable in play or two, it could do a lot more damage than what we just saw.
Yes, indeed, and we'll just have to see how Southstars take their survivor round, as Hot Dog Water did a superb job of LOSing that tank. The tank only got 1 attack and had to commit immediately, so they did not give them the opportunity to play rock at all. So I would like to see if Southstars can do the same thing and hopefully try to make as many points as they can on their away server.
Indeed, and one thing to mention here, as I did partially through the last half, right, is that this is still Zone Mod 1.9.16, right? And I'll say this, the Uzis on this are the same as they were in RBT5. They're extremely powerful, especially the unsilenced, but in a world where you can ship the tank that hard, I think it's something where the tank is going to have to probably, you know, not play with the cars too much, because I think we saw the other tank go down by about 2k HP before going to the roof as well. If it's not working in that area, it's really hard to get them up, especially when the survivors have, you know, the ability to chip you from a distance and do thousands upon thousands of damage before you get close to them. I'll say this, though, I am now a 1.9.16 fan versus 2.0. I'll say that personally.
So you agree with the phrase, say no to 2.0?
I think the happy medium would be if they just nerfed the distance Uzi just like a bit on this version of the config, and then keep like most of the map changes that were on this version versus the next version. That's like my dream idea for that, because these Uzis are still, you know, you hear players who used to play, right, and then they come back after a couple of years and you give them this gun and they're like, what the hell is this? Right? Like, they are looking at something that's able to do enough damage and, you know, have tanks not go for a rock tank the same way that a hunting rifle used to do that, right? If the survivors are good enough with the chip, you can still play rock tank, but if the survivors know how to shoot you, you know, they're going to abuse the fact that the Uzis have the power that they do here. So, I mean, I would personally like to see a bit more rock tank action, but at the same point in time, I think that having them be this powerful might be better than exactly what they are in 2.0 as well, because they really don't compare whatsoever across the two versions.
Indeed, as we are going to have a ready up, the opening attack is going to be a Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter. They're actually going to take the roof. Attack's going to go in, a pull goes out on the coach, and the Hunter lands on him as well. The Spit actually misses, but just think a little bit of free spit goes out. A little bit more damage than the other side going on the board, as it was 14, so they did manage 1 more tick of damage on the opening attack rails. Free tank.
Indeed, they did. And the first tank of this game is going to come up in the hands of Vegeta himself for Team Hot Dog Water. He's going to be backing up immediately and going for that alarm car. And we have the power up plus the splashing going on in Twitch chat to see if we can have Hot Dog Water pull off this upset. Their first step to doing that is going to be this tank. Vak's been around this community now for a couple of years. He knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to tank play, and also on Survivor and SI. He's going to send a hit in right now. Charger is going to land down at the bottom and is going to get a pound actually onto Knock, aka Gooey there. But tank really taking no chip whatsoever at this point, and the survivors are deciding to LOS.
Indeed, they're starting to LOS. Tank's actually trying to get his hittable in place, but it looks like that car is over 9,000, so he's not able to get it in the right position. He's actually getting a car on top. That's not bad right now. Looks like Coach is actually coming out to try to get some chips. The support is actually coming up, a Boomer, Hunter, and a Smoker. Maybe not ideal. Boomer's actually just going to sack. Tank's still about 40% first rage and chooses to back off.
Yeah, and the thing is, the survivors don't really have the distance Uzis here. They have one of them, but the other two are Suzies. And even on 1.9, they're not going to get a massive amount of chip unless the tank really shows his body to them. But instead, he's going to be committing with this car, going up in the air, going towards Coach, not going to land. It's going to roll off the back, however, as the tank tries to ladder punch up, but the survivors are wise to it, and they are kiting away from him beautifully over here to the side, jumping in between the cab and trailer of that semi. Tank's going to get a punch onto Coach. Looks like that is going to be the tank's corner, as this Hunter is also looking for a land. Rock is going to land onto Rochelle as that pull is still going, and there's the one common sneaking up on Knock in the back there as the tank gets those punches out. There's the in-cap going out onto Kyo, and that is going to be a good tank fight, I would say, for the Special Infected, especially with the survivors able to kite them the way that they did.
Indeed, it looks like it was actually going pretty grim for the infected there, but he was able to get a corner onto Coach. And once he got that first corner, when the SI attack came in, secures land, things weren't cleared. Actually attacks it to go out, gets a charge separated all the way in the back. Looks like he tries to spit block it. The spit could not capitalize. But one proxy boom goes out. That's a lot of damage, Rails. They were at about 400. Now it's going to be probably under 300 after that. What an attack.
That is amazing Special Infected coordination right there from Team Hotdog Warrior to capitalize on what they saw. That long charge doing just the same amount of damage as a tank down, right? So now that's 2 in-caps plus 3 survivors bleeding, 1 set of pills left. And like you mentioned, their health bonus now is down to 24%. They've got 323 cumulative, but they have 2 other hits they got to deal with. If one of those survivors can go slow, this would be amazing for Team Hotdog Warrior to capitalize on. And they have a good hit to do it here as well. Hunter, Jockey, Smoker, Spitter for that 3-1.
Indeed, and as they know, they're going to have to try to push quickly as they are bleeding, but they don't want to run into this attack blindly, as they know there is a Spitter, Smoker, Jockey, and a Hunter, not a Charger, which is probably something they do want, but they are going to have to make this work. The survivors are doing quite a bit of baiting here, trying to get the Special Infected to jump. It looks like they might choose to jump in the house or possibly just go down the alley. Oh, actually, attack's actually going to come in. Hunter goes in, lands onto Rochelle. Spit goes on as well. Jockey, I think, crashed. Yep, and we have a first crash of the game.
Yeah, that is extremely unfortunate. The DDoS program worked coming out from Kyo, but this is still going to be a decent amount of damage, I think, onto the survivor. It would have been even better had that smoker been able to pull the survivor back in spit, but I think they're going to have one survivor permaslow very soon, just looking at how Nick and Coach's health is floating near that 40-point range.
Indeed, as we do have them, actually looks like we have 2 people crash, Rails.
That's what it was. Half the team completely fell into the Left 4 Dead 2 ether there, but let's see if they're able to get back in and get their spawns back up as we ready up here. That is going to be the Spitter dying on Rochelle as well, and that is going to knock Slay into the slow range.
Indeed, they're going to pass the pills, and Poe walks through a little bit more of the Desperate, bringing the bonus down about another 15 points, unfortunate. But they did pop the pills, but they are still going to have 2 slow for the rest of this map, Rails. And they do have the next attack coming up, which is going to be a Charger, Boomer, Jockey, and Hunter. No Spitter for this attack.
You saw how fast Hotdog Water were able to breeze through this map when they still had 4 survivors fast. It easily turns into a Special Infected-sided game when you have 2 or 3 people who are about to be in this range. Knock has a bit to go before he goes slow, but if they can get an in-cap onto Slayer Kyo, that would be pristine for this SI hit. Hunter, Boomer, Charger, Jockey, so no smoker for the alarm car. And it looks as though they're looking to hit when the survivors really start making their way inside, but here it comes! That is going to be the Charger landing, the Jockey landing. The Hunter was not able to find the triple cap, but that is the triple boom going out and the alarm car, MK.
That's a massive amount of damage. I was over 100 on the bonus, and they do have an in-cap as well, so they have a car alarm horde, a 3 boom going out, so they're going to have quite an amount of common to deal with, but they are able to get Rochelle up, so they're going to push forward, and if they are able to get out here, Rails, and clear this common, I still think it's at least 1, possibly 2 more attacks they'll have to face, depending how this next one goes, because Coach is at 1 health right now. He's very slow, and a pull's about to go out. It does.
Oh,
actually,
what a clear.
Cleared right away. Doesn't get the in-cap. Jockey gets a scratch onto Coach, and the Jockey quickly retreats as the Charger doesn't spawn yet.
Yeah, and there's the smoker pull going out onto Nick with the Jockey and the charge going onto him. That long charge is not going to land, however. The spit will go down onto Kyo, and you saw the SI kind of back up for a second because they know what the alarm car horde time is on their side. The thing is, Slay, being Rochelle, is black and white at 2 HP at this point. If they're able to just get that 1 survivor dead, that would be huge for them, considering the fact the only bonus left is that HP on Loud.
Indeed, he did do a good job on keeping it up there because he does hold 94, almost 94 points of their bonus. So they want to try to protect him, but yet they don't want Rochelle to die because they want to get the few left distance points left in this map. And it does look like the SI is actually going to choose to go by the safe room area. Looks like they're just going to set up there with a tri-cap without a spitter or a charger.
The thing about it is that not only is Slay black and white at 1, the Keo is also bleeding out while black and white. If they can kill those 2 survivors, that would cut this bonus in half. Looks as though Nock is going to be pushing to the side to block those spawns on the fence, but the Smoker wants to come from near the boat in that little alcove where the melee weapon also is. There's the death onto Slay from the Jockey, while the rest of the hit is looking to go in. As that Hunter's going in from the back, does get skeeted beautifully by Loud, but there's another triple boom going out onto the Survivors. So they got the kill that they needed, and they just need to not get hoarded now on Survivor side, and they will be able to make it. But this is Team Hot Dog Water starting brilliantly on their home server, 952 to 454, just under a 500-point lead, MK. That's what you really, really want to see.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is home and away. I think they did survive and did make a little bit of a bonus. So even though it's kind of a low bonus on the away, I would still probably be happy with that because the other team also has to play on the same circumstances rails. So they'll also be happy to look at it. But as you were saying, during that last tank fight, when Coach was running away, that one common got in the way rails. And you know how much one common, if you play campaign versus competitive, scavenge, survival, it don't matter what you play. You've always had one common mess up your plans in Left 4 Dead. And with that being said, actually in Vanille's merch shop, she has one of those shirts available as well, Rails, if you want one for yourself.
Shameless self-promotion. I feel as though at this point, I need one of those too, just because of the fact that that can be a dynamic game changer in competitive Left 4 Dead 2, because you're not expecting a common to come from anywhere, but they can be in so many spots just around you, and as you're cutting a tank, that's the last thing that you want to see. This tank, though, is going to be at 38% for Team South Stars. It's going to be at the corner up ahead, I believe, where the survivors fight it, but the first step is going to be for Team Hot Dog Water just to continue that momentum from the first chapter. It is a 2-2 to start. Loud will have the tank, Jockey, Boomer, Hunter, Spitter for this first hit.
Yes, and it looks like they're actually electing. I thought maybe they would go quick. It looks like they're putting the Hunter and the Jockey on top, so they're probably going to wait for the survivors to come out or maybe surprise them. Actually, they're electing to go in right now. Hunter goes in, gets skeeted. Jockey gets bullied and shot in the face, and the Spit's not able to land on anything. Actually, they do get 4 ticks of damage, but the Boomer's not able to land, and that's the attack shut down, Rails.
That was a nice skeet right there by Goku, aka Spirit. He is one of the biggest changes for Team Hot Dog Water in this tournament as opposed to RBT5, and first map, he was making a huge impact on Survivor side. If they can have a team that's able to get those kinds of shutdowns, regularly, that's going to be a great advantage for them on this home server to build as many points as they can before going and playing on that ping. We'll see if they are able to continue the success as this Charger, Jockey, Smoker, Hunter is up. That was the one advantage, I think, for South Stars. They are a team that really does like going for those quads. If you were watching the RBT5 highlights, you saw them featured a couple times just because of their amazing SI coordination, especially on hits like these.
Indeed, the Hunter's just pouncing around, making some noise. Survivors know the quad's coming. They're going to take this very cautiously. Looks like the Charger's going to come from behind. Again, they're just going to clear all the common out as they know there is a quad cap coming in. And if they do land, it will be the round. And it's actually the Hunter's going to land. Charger does miss. A pull goes out clear right away, and the Jockey lands for a few ticks. They do get a little bit of damage, but that's a nicely clear quad, Rails, if I do say so myself.
Exactly. There was no real multi-cap there for the survivors to have to deal with. They did a good job of either dodging the SI or just shooting them down. And now they are going to have, looks like everybody is going to be close to 4 punches for this tank in the hands of Loud. He is staying pretty far back right here because the survivors can decide to go forward and chip him. But with this hit up, let's see if they decide to do that or if they decide to play a little bit further off. Hunter, Charger, Boomer for this first hit. And it looks as though Loud is going to be transitioning inside the sugar mill.
Yes, it looks like he is going to come up from. He's going to try to get a different angle from behind them. The bonus is sitting at 1,047 before tank. And see how much. Oh, they're actually going to push forward as they saw repositioning. Charge goes out, does land cleared right away. A boom actually gets popped, not able to land on anything. Tank tries to throw a rock, sacrifices 500 health, doesn't land one though, and has to retreat. It looks like the survivors are actually going to maybe take it forward, Rails. Actually, they're electing to back off.
I like that play on Survivor side a lot. If that Boomer had landed, it might have been extremely bad for them, but they managed to shut that down. Charger got cleared pretty quickly as well, and the Survivors now are going to be moving their way forward once again with this hit up. It's going to be a Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker, but I think this is going to be the commit for the tank from the center here. They're going to try to break down that shack as fast as possible, but it's not going to work for them. Tank is going to be in. Smoker early pull is not going to land. Tank is going to do the clearing for them on that building and is now going to be able to reposition onto Rochelle. Nice double cap with that Jockey and Smoker at the same time. Wiz getting punched around by this Tank. He is going to go down. Tank is going to try to get anything he possibly can here, hiding inside the shack that does not have breakable walls. Getting Uzi'd for his trouble, though. That is going to be a dead Tank, and once again, only one in-cap being taken.
Yeah, he didn't manage to hit anybody except one survivor. There was a dual cap that won out, but it was cleared quite quickly. The bonus went from 1047 down to 813, and 3 sets of pills. And they do have already almost their full attack coming up, so they should take it a little cautiously, but they have to be happy with that tank take there if you're Team Hot Dog Water.
And they're saying just let Knock talk in Special Infected chat. There might be a little bit of a rhythm problem there maybe with calls. We'll see if that continues, but this hit's looking to go in right now. Charger is going to jump in. There's a double cap with that Hunter, and the Charger is going to get cleared before managing to finish that charge. That's the second long charge in the past couple chapters we've seen cleared on both sides, but as long as that Charger isn't doing damage, the survivors have an amazing health bonus that they can use just to really take control of this game. Like, if they're able to survive this staircase hit, plus the event, plus the field, they're going to be, well over 2k points, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, indeed. Not much, less than 30 points off that bonus. Still over 800 points after the tank. Looks like survivors going one at a time for ammo. Boomer tries to get a rocket spawn, gets popped. More likely a sack for the top of the stairs here. But they will have a tri-cap without a charger. So I do expect survivors may push this forward. No, they are down one support as the Smoker is going to pre-spawn. It slows them down a little bit. Survivors baiting because they know this hit could be devastating. As the last attack's actually going to go up, Smoker misses, and survivors are going to push forward and take this choke. Hunter gets skeeted. This is a quad. Charger is shut down, and Jockey is cleared with a ledge hag from the Smoker. Not much damage going out there, Rails.
Oh, that was a great shutdown on that quad cap. The Smoker dies as well. Just a bit of chip damage going out. And the survivors timed that perfectly, where they knew that last spawn was going to be just coming up as they pushed to the top, and they were able to stay together enough to really not get stumbled, and that Hunter shutdown was key as well, because if that had landed, that might have been a stumble for an in-cap somewhere with that Jockey, but instead it was just that quick 2-cap getting cleared. This is going to be a Spitter, Charger, Hunter, and a Boomer, and that Hunter is going to go in first on that Charger. Beautiful skeet by Wiz going out. That's going to be the Charger getting killed second, and the Spitter being killed now. So that is going to be the quad for the field, and honestly, MK, this early in the game, this is a pretty huge hit for South Stars, I would say, because they need to do something about that bonus.
Indeed, Rails. They took 2 attacks, and the only bonus came down from 789 to 785. Only 4 damage and 2 attacks. Probably not ideal of what you want on the either home or away. So they want to get a good field attack as they go down here. It looks like they're going to sack the Boomer to try to get a quad in this field to end them, as they need to do a lot of damage, as there's a huge health bonus going out of 760 right now.
You know, that one boom, you might be able to say it slows the survivors down, but from what I'm seeing, it actually just pulls the common from the field, which is actually going to help them a bit, because then there's going to be less wandering horde just kind of chilling and waiting there. It is going to be the quad, though, for South Stars. Survivors are going to be wise to that, too. I don't think they're going to think that the other team has a Spitter. It's going to be this quad cap. Charger, Hunter, Jockey, Smoker, as usual, and the survivors are pushing directly into the middle of the field, still killing the rest of that horde, and MK, this is a dangerous spot for them, I'd say.
Yes, it is. It looks like some of them are saying, actually, the quad attempt is coming out. Charger spawns all the way in the front. Hunter's going out. Smoker's up as well. Nothing's actually going to land. Jockey's taking a lot of damage. He's almost down to 172 health. Looks like they're electing not to go in, Rails. They're just waiting.
Yeah, the survivors held S on that as well as they possibly could have. And now they're on the left-hand side over here, but they got to be careful about this baiting timer. They should be able to turn it off just by going a bit further forward. But when they backed up, they had so much space to be able to kill the SI on that hit. But now they're going to be looking to work their way in as the survivors are on the left-hand side. Charger's going to go in, not going to land. The Smoker pull does, and the Jockey does for a split second as well. But that is no quad cap going in. That Charger was not able to find the land. And that is Team Hot Dog Water making the safe room with a 723 health bonus. And like I mentioned, that's going to put them over 2K, 2,172 points on their home server to start. They could not have asked for much better.
No, that's a great score. You got to be happy with that on your home server. That's exactly what you want, Rails. Almost over 2,000 points for the first 2 chapters is amazing. And if they keep going at this rate, If they do play finale on both sides, they could have a score of over 9,000.
They could. They very easily could, especially if they get a tank wipe for that.
Indeed. We look forward to seeing how Team Cellstar is going to take their Survivor round, as they have a lot of work ahead of them. They want to at least try to match that, which will be difficult, as they actually have a quick ready up. The opening attack they're going to have to deal with is still the same as the last team's. It's going to be a Jockey Hunter Boomer Spitter, a 2-2 setup, as they are sending Nick out first to try to bait this opening attack.
Indeed, they are. They are on the back foot right here just because of their ping and because of this score. But that Jockey is going to die. Hunter is going to pounce around, managing to land onto Knock with a spit going down on top of that. He's going to be instantaneously cleared, but that is a fair amount of damage going out onto him, knocking him down to 80 HP. You know, and this is something, too, where South Stars have such experience with the ping, right, that I don't think they're going to really get rattled by this early, but if they somehow die during this map or at that tank, they're going to have to really, really just try to get the momentum back on their side chapter by chapter. They don't want to be behind by something like 1,500 points or even 1,000 going into the second map here. They can obviously do the same thing on their Survivor side, but all these players, just because of the time they've spent playing on both sides, right, like they could be a threat on low ping or high ping. Let's see if this hit is a continuation of that for Team Hot Dog Water.
Indeed, it's going to be a Jockey, Boomer, Smoker, and a Boomer. The attack's actually going to go out. A pull goes out in the back. Charger, it gets a 2-charge. The Jock takes the guy charged in mid-air. The Boomer's not able to land anything, but it is cleared pretty quick, but that's some pretty good damage going at, taking the bonus from 94% all the way down to 80% health bonus after that attack rails.
Yeah, that was a nice double charge going out there. If that Boomer landed and there was that separation pull in the back, that would have been catastrophic. But right now, the tank's going to be up into the hands of Goku himself, a.k.a. Spirit, for Team Hot Dog Water. He's got no bleeders to really work with yet, but I would be surprised if he doesn't have his SI getting him a couple of hits, as he also is going to do that same kind of transition. Survivors pushing forward to try to get a little bit of damage, but Jockey, Hunter, and Charger is the first SI support hit here, and MK looks like he's going to be looking to take the route inside the silo as well.
Indeed, let's see if the Survivors also try to bait him forward. But it looks like the tank's choosing to back up. Nope, he actually is going to try to go. Nope, Survivors are playing that baiting game. They got their headphones on. It looks like the tank's just going to commit right here. This is a Goku tank, so let's see if this tank can live up to its 9,000 name right now. It's going to go in. The support's going to be Jockey, Hunter, and a Charger. He's already down to about 2,000 health. Jockey gets the punch onto Rochelle. He gets another punch. Actually, the clears are actually going out. Tank is alone with a Charger. Fist going out onto Nick as well. The Charger. Another tank punch onto Rochelle. Another tank punch onto Rochelle. And that'll be a dead tank. Great spread by the tank rails.
That is excellent damage, and that was a millisecond from a 3-cap. Like, if that Charger had managed to land that, that would have easily been a wipe. The call was to have the SI go in as the tank was pushing them backwards, that they would have to pay attention to both of those things. It was looking good for the Survivors, but then once that hit came in with that Jockey and that Hunter, that changed everything so fast, and the SI are going to be happy with that damage going into this next hit, because now they have a 2-2 in a spot where they can probably at least get some kind of arc boom going out. Spitter, Smoker, Boomer, and a Jockey for this, and each hit now they can just add to their total of how well they played this map. Jockey's gonna land in front. Smoker's going for the intercept, but not going to land it onto Rochelle. Boomer spawns in the back and does manage to get a single boom. If that had been like a Charger or anything else aside from that Smoker, right, that could have been a devastating 2-cap.
Indeed. Instead, it only does about 20-some damage on the bonus, because the clears were pretty fast. It did look a little devastating, but like you said, due to the Charger not being there and just a Smoker Hunter, they did clear the Hunter first, so minimal damage did go out, which is exactly what they needed. And they're actually pushing forward to a lot of common. They have a quad cap attempt coming in here. They are actually getting quite hoarded. Let's see if they intend to throw it in. Nope, looks like they intend to hold that. Thought they might have went in there, but it looks like they're going to elect to get in a more better position to land this quad.
Yeah, they waited there, and I think that was the right call, because they would have had at least 3 SI all coming from the same direction with no real height advantage on the Survivors there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them just wait this out now for the stairs as the Survivors keep bleeding. And that Hunter in the hands of Goku is all the way up there, charging his Spirit Bomb, looking to go back towards the safe room now. But this is a really good position for Hot Dog Water to be in, because since they've already done this much damage, there's no real pressure to get like some kind of crazy wipe. And in a hit like this could be extremely perilous for the Survivors, especially with the higher ping if they don't pop pills. Like, that one Survivor is slow, already pushing up to the top. This might be the trigger for the hit MK, because they might be able to grab him before he can juke.
Indeed. Not only do they have a quad cat to deal with, but they have a ledge hangs from multiple sides to worry about as well. So actually, it's going to go. Oh, nice skeet on the hunter goes out. Jockey lands cleared right away, but they just get a charge off the top. That's going
Oh,
to
and
be
the pull.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a lot of damage, Rails. They got one hung up top, and they managed to get a charge all the way down the bottom. It looks like they're just going to leave the guy up top hung for now.
exactly, and it didn't even need to be a quad cap for that. They managed to charge the slow survivor all the way off the top there, and now it looks as though you can actually just jump back on that. Okay, that's something new. Thanks for that, Knock. I figure you can do that, but that's just, you know, that's just the way to get back up there after you already took the choke, I suppose. It's going to be a smoker, a hunter, and a spitter for the rest. Loud is still in full ledge hang here as the survivors are looking to get him up now. This hunter's looking for a wall kick, not able to find it. Smoker also looking for a pull, not able to get it. And this is going to be another spawn coming up now as Rochelle is still just there. Such a devastating separation hit last time. Hunter, Jockey, Smoker for the rest, and it looks like they want this Smoker dead. Hunter's going in for Nick now at the bottom, not quite landing it. The Jockey also does get M2'd. There's the pull, though, going out onto Ellis. Are we going to see a Jockey wipe? There's absolutely no way. Okay. This is still really, really unfortunate, though, for Team South Stars. They had people getting in-capped all over the place, and there's the triple charge going out onto them. That is going to be a Smoker with the intercept. That is all of Slay's bonus gone. This is spectacular special infected play from Team Hot Dog Water.
What a charge. What a rocket boom getting all four. Actually, he's getting low on... Actually, no, he's going to be okay. They're going to be able to get it up. That's a lot of damage, Rail. That's about 400 damage from just taking this one choke the survivors took. Bringing their bonus down, still at about 198, but everybody's bleeding. They're going to have at least 3 slow when they get in the field. Only 1 set of pills left, and Q is the only one holding a little bit of health bonus left for their survivor round. And they have the next attack. It's actually going to be a quad cap attempt. Let's see if they try to go now, Rails, or do you think they'll wait to the bottom?
They're going to go now. Why not? They've been doing such a great job with it so far, and there was almost a double cap landing as well with that Smoker. That's going to be Kyo being smoked to the slow range there. They'll have time to cycle through the Boomer and the Spitter, and they're going to have 3 survivors permanently slow for this dreaded Cane Field choke. Oh my goodness, MK. For anybody who's rooting for Team Hot Dog Water, this has been a beautiful start, and the thing is, they very easily could be ahead. I honestly don't think South Stars make the safe room on this. So they're going to be ahead by almost 1,300 points, I think, going into map 3 of their home server in a 1-4 hard range.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to go out for a Boomer sack. They have to get that quad in the field, as they know everybody's going to be really low health. Nobody's black and white yet, but they are going to have one survivor, probably 1 health when they open up. I wonder if they choose to down them or pop the pills. But they are going to have a quad cap attempt and this cornfield to deal with. So as much bonus as they can get will be helpful, as their bonus is already going to be under 100 before they even go into the field, Rails.
They're just downing each other in the elevator already while that Charger was going for some cheeky stumble damage. That is going to be both of them being Knock and Slay black and white for this. And once again, they don't have to land the full quad cap. If they can just get the same amount of damage that they did on this hit as the last one, it'll probably be a wipe anyway. And they're going to be looking to spawn up a little bit early, maybe just to have the survivors focusing on that Charger. The set of pills has been committed on to Nick, and it looks like the squad's gonna be going in right now. Smoker coming in from the back, Magic get the pull. The Hunter and the Smoker go for the same target, and the charge lands forward on to Knock. Jockey going for the cover, not able to find it yet. That is gonna be almost a full death onto him. South Star is still alive, but they are limping for their lives right now, MK.
Yeah, Rochelle's only 1 health, crawling the Smoker's trolling, chasing him. Only at 41 health. Is going to land onto Rochelle and get the in cap. But Ellis does get a quick clear. And try to get the pickup. Spawns are coming up. A Boomer up, Spitter up. Should see a delay. Actually, Boomer gets popped, but he has to delay the pickup to do it. I think was a smart move. Spit delay's going out with a pounce. Oh, that's a lot of damage going out. Is he going to be able to get out of it? Yeah, he is. So everybody's still alive, Rails. They might actually be able to make it.
That's what I mean. When you have the ping advantage and you're hitting this well, just keep sending attacks in and keep landing your pinners that way. That troll got even more of their bonus gone. They have no damage bonus at this point and only 2% HP on Kyo, who is going to M2 that Jockey, but then get in-capped by Loud as we have the survivors bleeding out almost to the point where they are just going to die to Common. Slay is 2 HP black and white, about to be 1. This could very easily be a wipe off this Charger, Spitter, Smoker hit, and they're going to get one more pinner, I'm fairly sure. Smoker's going for scratches, not able to land it, however. There's the death going out onto Slay, but 3 survivors being alive is the best I think that South Stars could hope for this as they make the safe room. They're going to be behind by a decent margin. It's going to be 2,000 172 for Team Hot Dog Water, and 952 for South Stars. This is an amazing start.
Yes, very good. We've seen them, Team Cell Stars on their way server make it to the safe room with all survivors, but only be able to make it in with 3, both chapters. But they do get the distance, which I think is very important on the away server, because they'll have the same opportunity that Hot Dog Water had as well, as far as the away home and away server rail. So we'll see if they can capitalize as well as try to keep this close going into the next chapter.
Yeah, and honestly, the story of that chapter were the hits in addition to the tank. The support on the tank was good, and the tank was good, don't get me wrong, for Hot Dog Water, but they managed to make use of every single choke they possibly could. The biggest thing here with this 44% tank spawn is going to be, can they get outside safely to an open area where they can't get intercepted either by an SI hit from South Stars or by the tank itself? You know, and the thing about Hard Rain, especially nowadays when you have no water slowdown for tank and everything like that, plus map 4 is a bit nerfed, it's harder to come back on this campaign, especially without the finale being played. So if they're going to be looking to do work, they're going to have to make something happen on SI side, probably in the Kane field to start first, and they're going to have a smoker, jockey, spitter, and a charger for it, and I think they're just going to sack the spit and then try for the quad.
It seems that way, but it looks like the spitter is just hanging out on the roof for the time being. It looks like he might have other plans than just sacking. Looks like he's going to reposition himself. No, he's definitely not going to sack, I guess. I'm a little shocked, Rails. I thought
This
for
is
sure
weird.
they just get all this common clear for free right now.
Yeah, I
Making
mean, they have
making the field run much easier.
they have the bane timer, and now the other SI are positioning on top of the roof. This could actually be like a surprise early hit that we see South Stars going for, but maybe not, because that spitter's just still going to be pre-spawn back there. Smoker and Charger in the field. The jockey's on top of the gas station. So I don't know. Yeah, the spitter isn't really a high impact SI in this area just because it's so wide open. Like, I would have much rather seen them go for a sack on that because it's really contingent on the Charger landing here. But Team Hot Dog Water unabated, just going to stay in the center of the field next to the pipe as the rest of this hit works its way in. Smoker Pole does go out. Charger manages to land off the smoke target, and that's the one area where the spitter is now pretty useful, getting that charge spit in the field onto Wiz. Decent damage, but I don't know if that was worth. I think it was maybe worth saving the spitter for, but I have, I'm half and half on that.
I think I agree. I would have wanted to do the same, but it is the most damage they've done with a special infected attack that did not include the tank so far. So they have to be happy with doing 16% of the health bonus on one attack. So at least that'll put a little bit of a morale boost into them as they take this next choke coming out of this crescendo event, taking the stairs.
Yeah, so they have this 2-2, right? Spitter, Boomer, Hunter, Jockey. Looks like the Spitter now is going to sack itself and just delay the survivors in the front, but the survivors have to be careful transitioning to the second floor here and then pushing out along the pipe and the walkway, because if they can land some kind of monster boom on them as the tank is spawning, that could really, really trigger an instant commit, and they are not yet outside for any sense of the word, and this tank goes up in the hands of Kyo. They're going to be fighting at second floor to start here, MK.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the smart move because there was a lot of common to push out there too, and the last thing you want to do is push into a tank and an attack with common up. It could go real bad real quick, so they're electing to take it safely, just spreading out pretty much the meta here. If you have an early tank, is just spread out on the second floor and try to hold spawns before he commits, as his support's going to be a Charger, Boomer, and a Hunter. Oh! He lands a rock, Rails! What a rock!
That was a gorgeous curve rock there by Kyo, and they're sending a hit in now on top of that. He's going to be transitioning on top of these survivors to that third floor, and it does give him a chance to pretty easily intercept them if they try to go forward. This Boomer is waiting for it as well, and looks as though that's exactly what they're going to be doing. If this Boomer lands, this could be catastrophic, as the survivors are right underneath, and there's the boom landing onto one survivor. Tank is in! Double boom is going to go out by proxy, and he has an immediate corner there onto Coach. He has so much health left still. He's going to try to get that down in the corner, still working on it. One more punch will have it, and then there's a smoker pole going out onto Ellis as well. Tank turning around, throwing a rock, hitting Rochelle, as he's now going to take that pull target, that being Goku, into the corner. Kyo still with 2k HP here. It's very easy for him to curve a rock around that corner now with the SI support coming up. He's down to 1.8k, and he's just bouncing around to stop the survivors from getting those pickups. Now they're going to be going for one, and this could trigger the SI going back in, and indeed it's going to. Charger's going to go in from the side, is going to miss, however. Rock is going to go flying off the roof, and MK, that's a questionable call, I would say, from the survivor side so far, and this isn't even quite over.
Oh, they're taking the damage. I mean, so much damage has gone out. The bonus is almost obliterated practically. Have 2 full in caps, 1 person on a little bit of temp health. Tank's actually going to commit here. 1 boom actually goes out. He's not going to get anything. That's going to be the end of the tank there. Hunter is just pouncing around. Looks like he's just going to elect to hold his spawn as they get the final pickup here. But the tank is done, and the health bonus is down to a 493. 3 people bleeding, 1 set of pills. They have to be happy with that if your team South Stars on your away server. That's a lot of damage, Rails.
Honestly, I was expecting a wipe there just from how that went down. The 1 boom went on to Ellis so early, and then the initial corner happened, on the side. And then after that, I thought, he could have decommitted and gone out the second floor again onto the survivors. But that takes a lot of the momentum away from what has been a very hot dog water-sided NA server. They do a good job of shutting that hit down right there, and there's just a jockey still in the queue. I mean, they still have bonus, but to be able to get out of a situation like that with everybody still alive, let alone having 2 people with permanent HP, they have to be kind of happy with that.
Yes, indeed. And it was at about a 490 when they were finished. It has 477 right now. Still 1 set of pills. If that boom survivor didn't get the jockey, that definitely would have been a wipe, Rails. That M2 on the boomer was huge. As the next attack is coming up, a Charger, Hunter, jockey, and a boomer. Charger actually is not able to land. Hunter gets skeeted. Charger gets a few fists. Boomer gets popped, and the smoker just shut down. Again, not that much damage, but they do take it down to about a 445. But if I was Team South Stars, I want a little more than that.
Yeah, this is still a solid bonus for a team on their home server. And I mean, right now it's sitting at 420. They have 1 more hit left, but I think they managed to drop here before the SI are up. It's going to be a smoker jockey Hunter for this hit. Hunter's going to get the wall kick, though, from inside. Spitter gets picked, though, by Spirit up top as that smoker gets a pullback. And yeah, that is a nice recovery, to say the least, from Team Hot Dog Water, as they are going to work their way into the safe room, still with a 389-point bonus, and they're going to be averaging just about that 1K per map, 3,060 for those first 3 maps on their home server. And the real question now is, okay, do South Stars fight it on the second floor and then also try to push out, or do they try to just, kill a hit and then go out immediately? I guess the SI are going to have to be the people who decide that, because I don't think you see them rushing forward with a hit up.
Especially if you're on your away server, Rails. I don't see him doing that because it's already difficult to clear common at that high ping. So unless the SI's attack is completely shut down, then we may see it. But I am curious to see exactly what they're going to do. But we have a fast ready up here. Spitter, jockey, charger, and a smoker. They're actually going to stack their spitter immediately, not like the other team did. And they are booking it through the field even before he got his spawn timer, Rails. They are booking it fast.
Yeah, this is the pretty standard play, I would say, from both sides here, as the Survivor's just going to hold W all the way down that pipe. That is going to be a smoker spawning in the back with the Charger on the side, still waiting for that last spawn to come up, and it is going to be a boomer. So in this particular instance, the Survivors do have a bit of the upper hand. Jockey getting shot and killed. South Star is going all the way to the corner. As that Charger goes in, it does get melted, and that is one thing about that hit that you can see happen there, especially when it's a boomer as that 4 spawn instead of the quad. You have to maybe try to send the pinners a little bit earlier, but boomer's going to drop off the side, gets a quad proxy from it. And now the real question is, what happens on this transition, MK? They're going to have some time to get forward and clear most of the horde, plus also block a couple spawns, and then we'll see if they decide to drop and go out or if they stay.
Indeed, I think it's going to depend on what the SI do here, to be honest with you, Rails. If the SI all go in here, I'm holding W. I'm just saying, That's what I would be doing. So it's really going to depend on what they do. They have a smoker, hunter, and a jockey as a support. Jockey's actually going to try to go in, lands onto coach, gets cleared before a hang goes out. About 5 damage goes on the board, but we are going to have a tank spawn, and it will be the hands of Mars.
Indeed, and they are going to push outside. This is exactly what you want to see from the Survivor side here. Tank is rotating, but getting absolutely eaten alive by those Uzis. That's almost going to force the commit right away. Mars down to under 5K. Smoker pull does go out, managing to land onto Coach. What a spawn that was, as the tank is now going to get that corner onto Coach. But the Charger actually takes the tank's target for the in cap and now does get cleared. Hunter is going to land, but that's a god frame on Rochelle, and she's able to almost get away from it, but she is going to get rocked and punched once for her troubles. Mars still doing work with under 200 HP to get the in cap onto Slay. Really, really interesting scenario there, MK, to force that tank's early commit. Once that ship started going out, she then just went in. But that's a better take for sure from South Stars than we saw the past couple maps.
Yes, indeed. Look at the bonus. Still at about 650, just shy at 646. On your away server, you have to be happy with that. They have the opportunity to be fast the rest of this chapter. 2 bleeders, 2 sets of pills, Next attack's going to be a 2-2. So we'll see how they take this, as it's a jockey, charger, boomer, and a spitter. And it looks like they're going to come right atop of them when they go in for ammo here. And they are sending one in at a time to avoid that attack indeed. So we'll see exactly what they do. Actually, they're going to reposition underneath. Boomer's actually going to go in, get popped. Charger comes from the front, not able to land. Jock in the back goes for a little bit of damage, and the Spit's not able to land on anything. And that's the attack shut down. And only about 20 damage goes on the board, Rails. Not bad at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see if your South Stars now on this map. They have one big choke to take. And I also got to say, these jockeys that we've seen the past couple hits have been pretty much entirely silent. Like the one that happened inside the sugar mill, like near the staircase, none of the survivors looked at it as it was running at them, and that last one did manage to get a bit of damage too. That boomer gets a nice single boom onto Nick, but there is no spitter in the spawn queue. Survivors, I think, don't necessarily know that because it's going to be a smoker, hunter, and a charger, but they might be inclined to just hold their W key here and maybe take it the long way. No, they're going to go the normal way up top instead.
Yes, indeed. They have a Charger Hunter and a Smoker to deal with. Let's see if the last spawns give them a quad or a spitter. It's going to be a spit, but we shouldn't see they can't wipe them here, but we see a lot of damage potential coming out. All the spawns are coming from behind. A pull goes out, is cleared right away. A pounce landed, 2 charge goes out, but the spit landed on the hunted survivor for a little bit more damage, and they are going to be in the safe room with, I think, a better bonus than Team Hot Dog Water Rails.
They are, but I mean, that was about as evenly matched a chapter, I think, as we could have seen from it. We are going to see South Stars getting points back on that, so that's a great job by them to have that amount of bonus going in, but it's still an over 1K point game. This is a really critical map for, just because, you know, going into a home and away match against a team like South Stars, you want to be up by as much as possible, probably aiming between like 1.5 to 2K if you can for a 4-map campaign. But this could very easily be an instance where even on the other server, Team Hot Dog Water is able to hold their own on Survivor side just from positioning and being able to clear one another. They cannot afford on Survivor side right now to wipe to this tank, and I think it would be great for them if they manage to get that famous hittable wipe that you see at 26% here that we're going to be dealing with. This is a classic tank on hard rain. Map isn't worth as much today, but it can still totally change the outcome of a game if one side is able to shut that tank down, because there's only like 2 or 3 hits on this map after the tank.
Yes, indeed, and since we do have an early tank, he's probably going to be able to get an extra car into play. So you want to have as many cars as possible when you try to commit with this tank, and preferably leave one in the front, because if you put them all in the behind, the survivor's just going to hold W and take it to a more advantageous position for them to avoid being smacked around with a car or two.
Exactly, and the big part about this is going to be, okay, I think it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be Nock's tank for Team South Stars, and Nock is one of the best tank players, I would say, in the entire community this way. If there's anybody who can pull this off, it will be him at this juncture. First hit is going to be a 3-1 Boomer, Hunter, Charger, Smoker. Team Hot Dog Water on the Survivor side and Team South Stars on the Special Infected. Boomer is going to pre-spawn up top there, and this looks almost close enough to where he could try to get like an arc boom for himself if the survivors decide to push forward. I don't know if that's going to be the call or not, but there is going to be the double boom going out. Rest of the hit is looking to find its way in. Smoker pull does go out. Hunter goes in as well. Beautiful double cap with that charger, and now it is a triple cap with that Smoker. Oh my goodness, this is a hitman. Disastrous. Absolutely disastrous for Team Hot Dog Water. This is a huge amount of damage off of that double boom into a triple cap, MK.
Oh my gosh, Frails. What an attack. A rolling tri-cap came in, the boom landed, Survivor jumped into the boom willingly, and look what happened from it. He was the one who jumped out at second, jumped right into the boom. Lovely tri-cap goes out with a 1 boom, and look at that health bonus, Rails. Already down to 60.2% after 1 attack.
Exactly, and
pre-tank.
Pre-tank, that is the big part of this. That takes a little bit of the pressure off of Nock in this scenario, because his team, with himself included there, of course, got like close to 300 damage on the first hit from that triple cap. There's a double boom going out, plus a Hunter landing onto Rochelle up top. He is working his way in. His alarm car from the front is out of play, so he just has the sedans, the 2 of them that are in the street, plus the hatchback, aka that God hittable, and there's still Common just going for the survivors here off of that boom. He's probably going to want a separation 3 cap as he's on second pass right now. It's going to be that Smoker, Charger, and it's going to be a jockey. So Big plays needed from this Charger. That car is going to go in and almost hits Mars. Literally almost directly off of her feet. And that car is now going to go flying over the roofs as well. He has one car still down below as he's going to call support now. He's going to try to climb back to the roof, looks like, and he's actually going to look to hit his cars back over, but he's at 30%. This is really dangerous for the SI, and the survivors are going forward.
Oh, this might go AI rails. It's gonna be, I don't know if you'll be able to see it from the distance because the fog.
He's bot.
No, it's not. It's gonna go AI rails, and the support's all coming in from behind. Is gonna get shut down.
Man, I liked the idea of what Nock was going for there, but with that hit just being what it was, the survivors were able to push forward since he didn't really have a car in the front, plus he was going behind them just to try to get his hatchback into play, but with that low rage, obviously not the result that they wanted. AI Tank is going to CrossFit climb this roof as high as it possibly can. Smoker Pole is going to go out as well. Rock going in and not going to land. Hunter gets skeeted. Tank is going to get a punch there onto Vegeta. 481 HP left, but he is going to die with just that. So that's a one-hitter AI Tank. And MK, that went from being the absolute dream for South Stars going into it to a major error.
I agree, Rails. I would have just committed it off the roof and tried to get what you could. I mean, they were able to get about 13% more off the health bonus, but they were probably looking for more, especially when the opportunity was such a great attack. Because the Jock's going to actually go out forward, but no support go in at the same time. A pole goes in, but it's cleared right away. Hunter gets skeeted, and the Spitter goes out on nothing, and that's going to be an attack shut down with, I believe, only 4 damage on the board for that attack.
This has been such a wildly entertaining game so far. I expect the same thing to happen on the next server coming up, because that kind of recovery from Team Hotdog Water is exactly what they needed, where it's like, okay, we got tri-capped with a double boom on the first hit, but then they managed to out-kite the tank by pushing forward there. And that's the right kind of call they had to make, staying confident on Survivor side. Let's see if they can avoid disaster here. That is going to be a single boom going out with a spit going in. Jockey in the front. Charger is going to get instantaneously clear, but look at the free spit damage going on to Nick and Coach. Oh my goodness, that's an in-cap. MK, what is going on?
They tried to rush it. The boomer made him bait it back in, and the spit in that room was so tiny they had nowhere to go, and the bonus just went from 40-some% rails all the way down to 20.9. Only a 184 left on this chapter. They only have one more attack to deal with, but it's not what you want to see for Team Hotdog Water on your home server.
That is utterly ridiculous. That free spit in 1.9 rearing its head. There is a single boom going out. The Hunter is going to get killed. Charger goes in, though, looking for the intercept. Not going to land it, but Hotdog Water are limping their way to the save room here. They do manage to make it, but that brings their total score to 3,640. So right now, if South Stars were to jump out of the safe room and immediately die, they'd have a 1,700-point disadvantage going on to their home server next. But this is the thing, if that tank can get shut down in a similar way without that other damage going in, this could be a very close scoreboard going into that South American server.
Yes, indeed. This is probably really, really big for Team Hotdog Water. They need to make everything of this tank, try to get as much damage as they can. They definitely want to get the wipe is what they want to do. So let's see if they can mimic their Hitman attack that they did on map 1, but I think the Survivors are going to take this a little more cautiously because they do not want that to happen to them with such an opportunity to make up so many points on an away server at this current moment.
No, you're going to see 3 Uzis. You're going to see them play it as positionally sound as possible, right? And the thing about it is, if Hotdog Water had been able to just avoid that first hit and then that insane free spit that we saw in the house, like those are only 2 hits. So if for whatever reason South Star is able to shut this tank down, they have that momentum on their side, there's no reason for them to rush on Survivor whatsoever. They can play it cautiously. They can play it pretty much whatever way they want to because they also know they have a good 4 maps on their home server coming up after this. On Infected side, you know, you're not really pressured to get the wipe per se here, but it would be nice if you could get a kill or something like that, or at least maybe 2 or 3 downs if at all possible. But that's going to rely on some extremely well-coordinated special infected support, which we have seen so far from Hotdog Water, but it's a bit harder, I would say, on a map like this where that tank is so hit or miss.
Yes, indeed. But actually, we do have a few questions going out. Do you know if we are not playing Finale in this, correct, Rails?
I believe that we are not. I can say this. I am not part of the tournament staff, so don't quote me on that. But okay. I believe the way the community started doing is just 1-4 for home and away game, just because it's easier to not play Finale on those, and we might be here for 6 hours if they do Finale.
Indeed, but the opening attack coming up is going to be the Hunter, Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger. Again, Survivors are going to take this very slow. as to what happened last chapter, and especially since this is away, they need to take this as clean as possible. So we should see some extreme baiting, as we do see Nick ghosting out, trying to see if the boomer will spawn above him, but they are not. It looks like they're going to elect to all jump out at the same time. It looks like they're trying to bait it. Oh, nope, just get a few more common trickling in. They are going out. They do get the boomer to pre-spawn, but they hold S back into the safe room. And we look like we're going to get a little baiting game. They're all going in and out. Actually, the boomer's going to go in, not able to land onto anybody. A pull and a pounce goes out. A rolling dual cap. A charger not able to land, but just gets a few fists on the Nick. About 3. Not bad damage going out, considering what went out there, Rails.
Exactly. That is a decent amount of chip damage going into this. All survivors except maybe Rochelle are going to be 4 punches. Actually, no, she's going to be 4 punches as well. So that's kind of what Wiz would want for this. But again, the biggest thing that's going to be on his tank commit, right, is going to be not to leave all the cars like on the roof or over the roof. He needs to keep one in the street to prevent what we saw happen last time from happening again. That hatchback is going to roll off the roof. It's a smoker hunter and a jockey for this upcoming hit. Nice skeet going out onto that rocket. It looks like Wiz is going to be rotating underneath them, and he's going to be going right in exactly with this. His cars are still in the street to the right-hand side. Survivors kiting back the best that they possibly can. There is going to be the smoker going in, managing to land. Hunter manages to land as well, but that smoker is going to get cleared. Hunter gets cleared as well. Wiz still looking for his first punch, going to find it onto Coach, going back towards his hatchback, spinning it over their heads, looking for something from these sedans as well. But I think with this, he could have taken a bit more time, especially because he's on first pass, to knock those hittables in a bit better position, because South Stars were able to just back all the way up, hold S, and not have an issue as they kited away from the rooftop. And now they're going to get aggressive on him on Survivor side as well, because they know he's low. Coach is in the street and is not going to get carded. Keo was going for that tank kill, managed to get it, and this is what Team South Stars have been waiting for.
Indeed, they shut down the tank. Tank only able to, I think it's 2 punches. The support rolled in and just landed for a short while, a 2 cap, but on opposite sides of the map, each with a survivor to clear it. So unfortunately, not much damage went out there. And like you said, Team Cellstar has a great opportunity to make up some points with a bonus sitting at 688 right now post-tank. But they still have a few more attacks to take, as they are going to hold spawns on the roof there. So looks like Infecta's going to come in. Jockey's actually looking to spawn underneath. Hunter spawns up front, but not much going out. Jockey's almost dead already. Hunter would get skeeted. Charger actually coming from, it looks like the spawns are a little broken, coming in one at a time here, Rails.
That was an extremely awkward hit from the SI, with everything coming from below the survivors with no smoker. That was playing directly into Team South Star's hands, just because they can stay up top, shoot the jockey on the ladder. The Hunter had a really hard time getting a pounce there, and that Charger was kind of just left out to dry, unfortunately. You know, and this is going to be one more hit now for the Special Infected, and we see how quickly this game has turned to being a much more even matchup, and maybe even now is going to finish on Team South Star's positive side, so long as they don't get brutally multi-capped here. The Boomer is going to miss. Smoker is coming from the back, as are the Charger and the Hunter. Smoker lands. Charger is going to take that pull target. It is a brief 2-cap with a Charger pound, but that is still going to be Team South Stars making the safe room with 57% of their health bonus and 100% DB, so long as nothing else happens to Keo in the back, since it's not popping his pills.
No, actually, it did elect to pop, but I still think they're going to get a broken attack, because the jockey's already up, so we should see a few special infected spawns going. He's trying to get Coach, but able to land, but goes into the safe room. They close the door, and they get a bonus of, when it comes to, let's see, total chapter score to 988, bringing their total campaign score to 2,916 to 3,640 for Team Hot Dog Water.
724 points. That is a great example of how South Stars were able to fight back on that away server, because they were down 1.3k going into map 3 and managed to almost have that now throughout the rest of the game. That's going to put a lot more pressure onto Team Hot Dog Water, just because in this scenario, right, they're going to be needing to make safe rooms. They're going to need to get bonus potentially on map 3 and also map 4. We'll see exactly if they're able to do that, but now the challenge becomes the ping, which just by merit of the fact that Team Hot Dog Water haven't had as much experience playing on that away ping, this is where we can see South Stars really come alive on both sides. So 3,640 to 2,916, Loud typing that in, that will be our score for this next game. MK, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I can tell you one thing, I was very entertained. We see some crazy tank play. We've seen a hitman, which is, well, almost a hitman. Nobody died, but it was quite an attack, which a lot of damage went out. So that was great to see as well. and we've seen a comeback to almost making it even. So I think we almost got everything we could possibly want.
Indeed, we could, and that's going to be something where, you know, Hot Dog Water have to completely ignore essentially the score from the first game, just play on like it's a different game, try to shut down the tanks in open areas, and, you know, just continue that SI coordination that we saw the first half of the game, I'd say, even better than the latter half. So we are about to be getting on the next server, but I'm going to be AFK for just a couple minutes. I will be back in, just a little bit. But thanks everyone for watching so far. We expect a absolutely ridiculously entertaining second half to this.
Indeed. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
BRB. All right, I'm back.
Where's the last?
Can they hear us? Amazing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third round of the Quarantine Anniversary Tournament here on the Nels stream. We are halfway through a game between teams Hot Dog Water from North America and Team South Stars from South America. I am Rails Barlow once again, and I'm joined by the one and only Mr. MK. MK, that was an exciting first half we saw on the North American server. It's about a 700-point lead for Team Hot Dog Water, but they are going to have to try to contain Team South Stars on their home server here.
Yes, indeed. They do have a decent lead. You probably want a little bit more if you're on your home server, but they do have the lead, so it's up to them to decide as they go Survivor. Not this round, but when they are in the lead, they take Survivor first every round, so they'll be able to set the example going forward, which I'm actually looking forward to.
That can be, I don't know, that can be both a blessing and a curse, I'd say, for the team that's leading, because it's like, you know, if you go on Survivor first and it doesn't go well, then you have to play Survivor again. That's just out of the natural flow of the game. But that being said, we are live here on the South American server for this matchup between Team South Stars and Hot Dog Water. Hot Dog Water on the Survivor side defending their lead, and the first hit's going to be a single boom going out there and a smoker pull. This Charger still isn't dead yet either, going for the hitbox charge, but he's not able to find it. For Team South Stars on the special infected, it's Slay, Gooey, aka Knock, Kyo, and Loud. Who do we have for Team Hot Dog Water again, MK?
Actually, my spec HUD closed, so give me 1 second. For Team Hot Dog Water, we have Mars, Wiz, Vegeta, and Goku.
Indeed, with Vegeta and Goku being Vac and Spirit, respectively. This first tank is up into the hands of Loud for South Stars. He's going to be rotating to this right-hand side to start. Boomer is also looking to get some kind of land, but is not able to find it yet. Brock going for Nick on the roof, not having any cover up there until he drops off the side. If that jockey land up top, that would have been devastating, and that is a double boom going out, MK, for this rock tank.
Yes, again, though, they're in good position. LOS in the tank very nicely. As you can see, he's already starting to lose rage, but looks like Ellis wants a little bit of chip. I think he should have kept LOSing, but he wants to try to get a little bit of damage as survivors are repositioning. Actually, no, they're electing to stay on the bottom. I thought for sure they go up top, but they're electing to stay there as the next attack's coming up. They're going to have a Charger, Hunter, and a Smoker, and the attack's actually going to come in. A pull's actually going to go out onto Ellis. It's cleared right away. Hunter gets skeeted, and the Charger's not able to land anything, and also a rock doesn't land at all, but he still has 75% first frustration rails, but didn't take very much chip.
I like the way they were set up there, because if you notice, they're giving themselves a lot of space, and they're making sure that a boomer doesn't land. On high ping, boom equals death, especially in an area like this, where it's pretty easy for those comments to get around the survivors. And they're taking the chip as they can as well. They have three survivors actually, with distance Uzis. That smoker is still up on the side, and they've done already about 600 damage to the tank. Rock is going to go in. That jockey is going to get cleared after just a bit of damage. Smoker pull is going to go out now as well, and the smoker is still not dead. Boomer's on the roof waiting for the survivors to transition back up, it would look like, but he is now going to be going to the right-hand side, looking for whatever he can. Jumping in is I thought Nick was disconnected for a second, but I do not believe they are. So the smoker's still up, rest of the hit's dead, and this tank is down just over 700 HP, and it's going to be on second pass.
Yes, they're LOSing right away. No, there's no boomer to contest with when this tank commits. Smoker's still holding up in the side. About 100 health chip off the smoker as well. Tank's had second pass, about 60% frustration, getting his hittables into place. Hunter's actually spawned up, pouncing around, not doing much. He's getting a car hit up on top. It's not working out for him though. He gets another car hit. He elects to leave it. He's down about 2,500 HP. He's going to commit inside. Whiffs onto Nick. Whiffs another punch. Gets a punch onto Nick. Another punch onto Nick. Support's actually trying to go in. Whiffs another punch, hits a punch onto Nick. Hunter lands onto Coach for a little bit. He does get his first in cap. The pull goes out onto the car, but I don't think the tank's there to capitalize on it. There's a fist from the Charger goes out onto Coach. So much damage onto Coach from the Charger. Gets a punch onto Rochelle, and that will be the tank, Rails. Not a bad spread.
What a tank fight that was. I mean, on Survivor side, right, they did a great job of cutting the tank to start, going inside the building and then back out. But then they got massively separated there for a second, to where Coach, I think, had two SI on him at the same time, where if they had been able to land a bit earlier, that could have been catastrophic. The tank did a pretty good job moving around as well, but honestly, I expected more damage to come out of that for Team South Stars. Hot Dog Water, though, still holding 3 survivors with permanent HP, 2 greens as they go into this 2-2. Boomer's going to land a single boom on onto Nick. Hunter going in as well, trying to find something from underneath the survivors, and he is not going to find it. Beautiful skeet by Goku as the one survivor who is hoarded, that being Nick, is going to be going forward with the help of her team. MK, this is a solid start on Survivor for Team Hot Dog Water.
Yeah, they have to be happy with that. They're still at about 50% of their bonus, just shy at 49.3%. 2 sets of pills. They're all still fast. They're even going to get through this choke point as they attack with the last one. And since they're fast, they're just going to burn right through it. As the opening attack, the next attack is going to be a Charger, Smoker, Hunter, and Spitter. Because the Jockey actually died third, so they didn't get the quad rotation right. Don't know if that's what they wanted or not. But we are going to have a Hunter pre-spawn on the house. Not taking any chip yet, as Coach did try to shoot him, but actually the attack's going to go in. A charge rocket spawns, doesn't land on anything. The Hunter lands onto one, a pull at the same time, and the spit actually doesn't land. It was just shy.
That is unfortunate for the SI, but very fortunate, of course, for Team Hot Dog Water. That Charger was going for a free charge in a spot where he might have been able to get it from that rocket, but the survivors did a good job of juking that, as they did get briefly 2 caps, but as you said, the spit did not register for the maximum amount of damage, and they're going to have a Boomer for this next hit. Boomer, Charger, Hunter, and Jockey. This could actually be the last hit for the Special Infected before the survivors reach the safe room, and they're being wise to that as well, because this is a pretty tough area to land anything as far as SI.
Yes, it is, and they actually realized they found 2 sets of pills along the way as well, so they popped them, and their bonus is still over 400 at this moment, I believe, because they found them. So they got to be happy with that, pushing forward right now, as the final attack coming in is going to be a tri-cap with a Boomer and minus the Smoker. Boomer gets popped. Hunter's pouncing around. Looks like they're just going to hold for the final, right before the safe room, since that Boomer was popped.
Survivors are going to W it as well, but here comes the hit from the back. Jockeying M2. Charger does land. Hunter lands the intercept in the back as well. That is damage onto both damage and health bonus. Really nice clears by Coach and Rochelle there to make sure that really didn't do a whole hell of a lot. Hot Dog Water make the safe room on the South American server, bringing their total score to 4,388 points cumulative across these 2 games, and a 750-point score with a good amount of bonus. You got to be happy with that on their side.
Exactly. Their away server is only 140 points less than what they had on their home server. So, I mean, that's a pretty good take. I would definitely be satisfied with that. On an away server of getting that much bonus. So I think they did a very good job on booking it through the level after the tank. The pill spawns kept them fast that they found and just booked it to the safe room. I thought it was a very well take survivor play after that tank rail.
Indeed, it has been, and we are going to have another restart going out, because one of the challenges for Team South Stars, I would say, is just having the ability to have everybody with green ping. You don't see it happen too often, especially not here on this home server, this tourney, you know, where Kyo was pinging like 110 there, Loud has about 90, so it's not terrible, but it's also not the whole idea of going and playing a team that has a server literally under their bed, where it's like 5 ping for everybody.
Yes, indeed. Oh, go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, that's hellish to play against on an SI side. If you have between like 150 200 ping and you're getting like local server land skied on the other side, it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling. Believe me, from one who played on a different platform before, I know exactly the pain that you can feel there.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a situation like that where it's like, when you're trying to play high ping with a controller, now that actually sounds like a punishment. It really does.
Yeah, it makes me want to take a cheese grater to my face, but we won't talk about that anymore. We no longer think about that thing. This game is meant to be played with a mouse and keyboard. It's much more enjoyable.
100%. And the thing is, I played a couple times on Xbox just to see what it's like, and I can see how people can still like want to play it for years on that, but after you play on mouse and keyboard, if you go back to that, then it's like, I don't know. There's things that people like about both, but competitively speaking, I'm pretty sure the PC is just the way Left 4 Dead 2 was meant to be played.
Yes, indeed. As we're just waiting for one player to reconnect here, then we will get the ready up really quick. Again, it is a 22% tank. They do have a tri-cap with the Boomer, minus the Jockey for the opening attack, as the other side actually was pretty close to a possibility of a death charge, as he tried to hitbox charge him off the top of the roof, but it was unsuccessful.
I thought he was going to get a charge on the pole target there for a second, because he was those SI weren't being clear. The Jockey and the Smoker were both on for a decent amount of time before that happened, and it's still possible to see that happen. You see it happen sometimes in scrims as well, of course, but in a situation like this, that would be the kind of catastrophic thing that either side really, really can't afford this early into the second game. And there are opportunities for huge special infected plays, of course, on the staircase plus the cane field. Like, it's a decent trade-off, I would say, for the SI. But this first map, I kind of expect both teams to make the safe room. And honestly, I think they could do it on map 3 as well, just because of those tank fights, especially if you have them in a wide open area. You know, that can be super duper hard for the SI to get any kind of good damage on, unless you see a boom in a multi-cap or something.
Yes, indeed. And since we're seeing some high caliber Left 4 Dead play here in this game, indeed, as you notice, we have no wipes that have gone out yet. It's just been at least a death or two, but survivors have made every safe room in the first half of this game. We'll see if both sides will be able to mimic that going into the second half of this home and away server. As the final person has arrived, Q is here, so we're just going to be waiting for him to ready up, as they are about to ready up now. Again, Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter for the opening attack. Let's see if they take it a little better, or if it's going to be scary to see the possibility of a Charger insta-kill, as he is set up on the top. The attack's actually going to go, and Survivors elect to go off the other side, completely juke out the Smoker, not able to land on anything. Hunter lands, Charger rocket spawns, gets on the one, and the Tri-Boom goes out before the Smoker's cleaned up and the Boomer pop at the very end.
That's a decent hit, and I think seeing Team South Stars doing that is wholly predicated on the fact that there was no spitter. If there was a spitter, I don't think they go to that spot, because then they could easily have gotten double capped and just, you know, completely destroyed. But now they're able to clear that horde pretty efficiently, especially because Keo now is down to that 49 ping that you like to see on the home server. Let's see, though, what Wiz is able to do with this first tank of this away match for Team Hot Dog Water. He's rotating immediately to the roof, it would seem. Going to be climbing up this hedge and then maybe trying to get some sight as a hit is already going in. Hunter, Charger both going in. Charger gets deagled down, and the rock is not going to land either.
What a ski. That was a jumping ski. That was sick by Nick. That was a nice ski going out. But the tank is actually trying to just throw some rocks, as Survivors are being smart and LOSing him right now, trying to get his rage meter down to about 85%, as actually a Survivor's giving him rage right now, as they know the support's about to come up. There is a Boomer, so they're going to spread out right now to try to avoid the Boomer as all possible. They want no more than one hitting, as a one boom does go out to Coach. It is cleared right away. Smoker and Jockey are electing to hold, as the tank is repositioning his tank.
He's going in.
His car in a better position.
I thought for sure he was going to commit there for a second. Him dropping and hitting that car, I thought he would be able to get there in time before the horde died, but the Survivors were able to clear it pretty fast, and now he's going to get shot a bit, I think, by the Survivors just being over there, but he's going to commit with this next hit, I would say. It's going to be that Smoker, Jockey, and Hunter for Hot Dog Water. Here comes Wiz going for the first car, but not actually hitting it. Second car is also not going to be hit, as he goes up top, looking to push the Survivors back. There's going to be one Survivor dropping. Tank going for Coach, it would seem. Missing his punch onto him, however. Now managing to land it to get that corner locked up. But he's actually going to go on top of the fence, and he escapes back towards the safe room. This is dangerous now for Team South Stars, but that is going to be the rock missing. Punch is going to land. One more punch should do it. There's the end cap. Trying to get another punch onto Nick. Not going to find it, but no cards used there, MK, for just one end cap.
No, it looks like he elected just to avoid him. I thought maybe he thought there was just not a good angle to get him up top, and just elected to go in for the damage. He does get his corner relatively quickly when he commits, but he does punch him over the fence, unfortunately. The Hunter secured it and gave him something to guard with a tank rock and a punch, but all in all, he does get an in cap. Not too bad play. I think I'd be happy if I was Team South Stars on that.
Indeed, there's a single boom going out. Charger is not going to land. That's going to be a smoker pull onto Nick in the back. Spitter is going to spit delay, but actually wasn't able to find the top of the ladder until that death spit. So I think they're due for another 3-1, but you can see the ease that Team South Stars are using to push through these common just by merit of that green ping. Keo already working his way forward and clearing out all the common around the playground. They might be able to start clearing the next area too before this hit is in. It's going to be a Boomer, Jockey, Hunter, and one more spawn is going to be that Charger. So a little bit scary for the Survivors, but they're already making their way inside, and that is great Survivor positioning by them to know exactly what they're up against and go inside for this.
Exactly. There's no spitter to worry about. Actually, Tax going in. Jockey gets shut down. Charger misses. A 2-boom goes out. Hunter tries to get some scratches. I don't think he was able to get any. He just gets shot in the face for his troubles. That's going to be the attack shutdown. About, I believe, 4 damage went on the board in that attack. Not much at all. So they're just going to hold W and try to take this next choke as the spawns are about to come up.
Once again, no quad coming either, I believe, because that Hunter did die last. It's going to be a Smoker, Spitter, Jockey, and a Charger. So a pretty decent hit for the SI, but they got to be careful because this actually might be their last as the Survivors just pushing their way forward, excellently timing each one of these hits with their W keys, and that's going to force Hot Dog Water all the way to that closing safe room roof if they're looking to get any kind of damage. They have 4 sets of pills on Survivor side, 1 Survivor bleeding, and still 635 bonus to their names.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. They have almost double the score the first team had. Not quite, a little bit less. This maybe the last attack, just as you said. It looks like they're gonna elect to hold it above the safe room, and they do have a spitter. There is potential for a lot of damage here, and they're gonna go for a pull by the truck as they try to push into this the safe room. So there should be a lot of baiting going here. The survivors going up and down, jumping over the fence here, as we're seeing right now, as they know this is the last opportunity for Team Hot Dog Water to get any damage in before going into the safe room. As Coach is now in the safe room, Ellis they're baiting this really hard. They know this is going to be it. Actually, the Smoker spawns in the back, gets a pull. The Charger takes the pull, so they get the charge spit, and the Jock's able to land onto Ellis as well for a little bit of damage. It's actually not too bad. It takes about 60 some points off the bonus rails.
Indeed, it does, and it's going to be 4,388 to 3,888. No, yeah, and that's going to be so exactly 500 points now going into the rest of this campaign. That was, probably the best the Hot Dog Water could have asked for post-tank, because South Stars got all the momentum on their side, started holding W through hits, and then when they slowed down, they actually got damaged somewhat for it. But now the question is going to be, okay, on Survivor side, can they play it as well as they did on their home server? Because they scored, I want to say, like 2,100 some points, close to 2,200 before the first 2 maps. This is still makeable with bonus, but this is the point where, okay, South Stars have done their job on map 1. They made up a couple of points, and they know that what's really going to change this game, if anything, is going to be the fact that they can make this map on their home server when they couldn't last server. We can see them potentially almost tied going into map 3.
Yes, indeed. They did make up a little bit more last chapter. Hot Dog Water still does have the lead, and I agree with you what you said from the last time we casted. I don't agree with setting the scores when it's home and away. I only agree on setting the scores if you play on one server and it's like 2 different maps, like from 1 through 4 and 1 through 4. But since it's home and away, I agree. I'd rather not set the scores. So the other team can go first. That's actually has better pings on this server, in my opinion.
Exactly. And the other part of that I think is huge, right, is because if you're behind after, because it does feel like an entirely second game, because it is an entirely second game. Like, it's one whole quote unquote match, but like it's 2 games combined into one. Like, if we were playing like 8 campaigns, like 8 campaigns, that would be a hell of a grand final.
Yes.
if we were playing eight maps in a row, like you said, across 2 different chapters, sure, keep the scores. But with this, it's like, okay, each time you slowly get outpaced by the other team, like for example on this, normally it would be having Team South Stars on the Survivor side to continue their momentum, but instead they're allowed to play SI with the better ping and maybe just try to keep having their infected chemistry get better and better and better before they eventually take the lead that way. It's not the same way that you see any other versus mode played with the score setting that way. So yeah, I don't know. I don't envy Hot Dog Water in this position, because they're going to have to then play on Survivor side with the higher ping now, just because they had their home server first as well. So it's another element of randomness that goes on that way. But I think South Stars can take big advantage of this, because they know they did pretty decently on on SI side map 1. But once again, I mean, this tank could easily wipe. I don't want to caster curse him or anything like that, but either side can honestly wipe to a tank like this. If there's a boom that lands on survivors with red ping in that area too, it's not going to be pretty.
Yes, indeed. And actually, I think my spec HUD may be bugged, because I see the SI have 6 spawns. It has one of
that's
each.
not normal.
It says they have a Spitter, Smoker, Boomer, Jockey, Hunter, and a Charger for their opening attack, which is quite interesting. And it says the Boomer and Spitter in parentheses, so it's technically telling me they
it
have
has
a
that
quad.
for me too. Yeah.
It says they have a quad, but they don't. I do see their 4th spawn is actually a Spitter.
Yeah,
So
no, they absolutely do not
weird.
have a quad. Absolutely not.
I would say I only see tanks or the spawns break if a tank would crash. That's where you see double smokers and chargers, but that could happen. But we do see them going live, opening attack, Charger, Spitter, Jockey, and a smoker. Let's see if we see a fast attack when they come out. And it looks like they're going to wait for them to come out, Rails, and not go for a quick one here.
Yeah, thankfully it printed in chat accurately, so it is that 3-1 with Charged Spit. And the Smoker's looking to pull from outside here with the Charger down below as well. Jockey is going to be looking to initiate probably from up top, but it's actually a pull charge inside to land that Spit onto Wiz, and that's going to be the Spitter jumping on him as well, blocking him inside. That is so much damage onto him from an indoor pull charge Spit.
Went from 100 health down to 44 in one attack. Goku takes 1 damage, so they still have 2 at 100, but that's a great attack if you're Team Cell Stars. Just get the pull, take the charge, get the spit. If it was 2.0, it would have been a little less, but it's not, and they took advantage of it to the full extent.
Indeed, they did. And there's a single boom going out onto Nick with the rest of the hit coming in. Hunter, Charger, Smoker looking to make its way. Smoker does get the pull forward. Charger is not going to hit that intercept. The Hunter is still bouncing around, but that's a good amount of smoke damage right there onto Goku, plus 2 fists from that Charger for the added punctuation. Not catastrophic by any means for Team Hot Dog Water, but if they have one survivor bleeding going into this tank fight, we could easily see South Stars play off of that for a bit, especially due to the fact they're playing against a team with that higher ping. And Slay is going to have the tank for South Stars. He's going to immediately climb the silo, and he might be looking to go inside the sugar mill once again to make this transition as tank.
Yes, let's see if they start baiting back and forth, see if the tank tries to get in a better position behind them, as we did last round. Both survivor rounds chose to do that. As this tank is making it over, still hasn't lost any of his rage yet. The survivor's health bonus is an 866 pre-tank, so let's see what they get out of it afterwards, as it looks like the attacks that have come in. A Jockey, a Hunter, and a Boomer as a support. Let's see if they get an attack or just choose to commit it right away.
When he's all the way in the back as well, and he's being away from that Boomer. He's pushing the survivors in the opposite direction. The Hunter's going to go and get a pin. Nice multi-punch going out off of that as well. Jockey's looking to help now too. Boomer gets a 1 boom. Nick kills the Jockey and is on top of that generator, but he gets rocked at the same time. There's the in-cap going out. One survivor's doing with all the horde. He's going to transition to the top of this silo to guard that in-cap. Rock's going to go in, not quite landing onto Coach, and the survivors got to be real careful here because they can get this tank kill without any more damage. They got to kill the rest of the horde, and they got to take an SI hit for this. I don't think the SI can go for the kill onto the down survivor either, but they got to be so careful with these spawns. Tank down to 655 HP now. Smoker pull does go out. Hunter's going to land. Charger almost had that in the open field, but the clear went out by Wiz. That was another nearly heart-stopping, almost 3-cap going out, as this Charger is still alive with 74 HP. Tank is on first pass, still keeping sight, and they can't kill this Charger yet until now. Man, if they knew exactly how low the tank was, this tank would be absolutely dead. But instead, it is Vegeta still just down in the corner on top of that generator, and they're going for the pickup now. This is going to be real risky because that rock can easily just curve down and land, but the tank is so low. He's getting shot by the Uzi, and that is a tank kill going out. M2 on the Jockey as well. Boomer gets a single boom. Very interesting tank fight, MK, with that tri-cap almost landing.
Yeah, well, they were pushing the tank forward, and the tank was chasing. The Hunter got a nice stumble, let the tank get a punch onto one survivor, then he took the 100 survivor and managed to get the in-cap. So actually that Hunter made that play right there because all the SI were behind him chasing the survivors forward. So that was a very well done play, as we have an attack coming in, which will be a Charger, Spitter, Smoker, and a Hunter. Smokers look like he's going for a DP. Charger rocket spawns as a pull in the back goes. Charger misses. A 25 pounds does go out with Spit. Oh, he's getting fisted. Rochelle takes so much damage there. The bonus is all the way down to a 423 now, Rails, after the tank is dead. And one attack.
And this is something that we saw Team Hot Dog Water doing on their home server as well. Their SI was lightning fast and extremely well coordinated. This is something where South Stars now have each hit as a potential way to just keep damaging the survivors. No more sets of pills. 3 survivors bleeding. And they did miss the other set of pills there too. It's a Jockey, Hunter, Charger, and a Boomer. Another pretty good hit. Jockey's going in, not finding anything onto Coach yet. He's getting M2'd and shut down. There's the pounce landing, and the Charger coming in for a follow-up, stumbling inside of Goku's body. And that's something, again, when you have a team that is so well coordinated on SI, there are so many different ways they can get damage. We saw them stack onto Mars there and almost land the multi-cap. This choke is huge now for Team Hot Dog War to survive, because they need to at least get the distance points, I'd say, from this chapter.
Yes, indeed. They did do some good damage with that attack, about 70 off the board, taking the bonus down to 356. They are getting their spawns up. It's not a bad stair attack. Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker. Maybe I'd rather have a Charger instead of
Charger, yeah.
Hunter here. Yeah, but it's not a bad attack. Potential for some good damage. Survivors can't really take it slow as they got 3 bleeding, no sets of pills. 1 survivor is slow at this current moment. So let's see how they take this next choke. As a Smoker is going to spawn. Jockey goes in, is able
Triple
to
cap.
land. Actually, a triple cap's a lot of damage going out. Everything gets cleared instead of the Hunter, but Hunter's able to get an in cap, but that is the attack shut down. But the Smoker is still lurking up top at full health as well. That's a good attack going out, bringing the bonus all the way down to 181 after they get the pickups.
Such a momentary tri-cap as well, but the damage was obviously done. Smoker's going for a pull there. They're not quite able to kill it either as he backs off to the side, but Wiz should be able to take this Smoker down, but instead he gets charged and then instantaneously cleared. Boomer gets a single boom in the back. Jockey lands as well. Smoker is just going to keep lurking down below, but now the bleed is going to be so real for this event. They still have another 100 distance points to gain, potentially from this map, but this puts Team South Stars for their survivor side in striking distance of taking the cumulative lead in this match, I would say. Just because if they shut that tank down, you know, we can see a team clear this field extremely easily on that green ping, but this hit's going to be looking to go in right now, MK. Smoker, Charger, Hunter, Spitter.
Yeah, and Nick is black and white, by the way, during this attack, as they are going for him right now. Hunter does land on him. They able to get the clear? I think, no,
he's dead.
Death on Vegeta. Vegeta is dead. They weren't able to get the clear out fast enough, so there is 1 survivor dead. Health bonus at 104. Everybody bleeding. Oh my gosh, Rail, it's looking kind of grim for the survivors right now.
Indeed it is, and unfortunately Rochelle was not able to get that clear due to that common locking happening, and that's obviously something that gets a lot worse when you're playing with Red Ping. They could even die right here before the elevator off this 2-2. Jockey, Spitter, Smoker, and a Boomer for the hit. Jockey does manage to get the in-cap onto Rochelle. The spit is not going to spread into the elevator, of course, for any kind of damage, but this Jockey with 41 HP is looking to get another claw. Not able to find it, though. Goku sitting at 2 HP permanent with Wiz bleeding almost all the way out as well, and now Rochelle going to be bleeding for the entire elevator ride. I expect them to die in the field, unfortunately.
Yeah, the one thing that's fortunate for them, Rails, is they will have a set of pills at the bottom of that shack. So if the infected go in quick and they're able to clear it, they might be able to get a set of pills. As the Boomer is going to go in, just to hold on the ladder to troll, gets popped. The Charger gets a 6 damage stumble, 2 to each survivor while they're inside there, and takes half his health for the consequence of doing it. They do grab the pills. They pop. Nope. Looks like they're debating on who's going to take them. Nope, they pop him right away.
Yeah, and it looks as though Spirit, aka Goku here, is looking for those back spawns. Hunter and Smoker going in right now. It is going to be a tri-cap with that charge Spit. Let's see, this charge is coming in from the front. Spit's going for a free in-cap. There's the double cap going out onto Rochelle and Ellis. They clear the Hunter, but no such luck for that Smoker. And that is the full wipe going out onto Team Hot Dog Water from Team South Stars. Less than 1K points now, MK. This could be a huge map coming up.
Yes, it is. I mean, Team Southstar has an opportunity here. On their round on their away server, for granted, they did have 1 survivor die and 3 make in the safe room, so there wasn't much difference there. But if you're Team Hot Dog Water, you want to at least take all the bonus away before they make the safe room, but you really want to get a wipe is really what you need.
Yeah, and that tank, we saw Team South Stars commit that from the back where the survivors were sitting in that corner, which is good because it pushes them all out of position and opens them up for spawns. I think we might be able to see Team South Stars be a bit aggressive with it, where it might be better for them to try to push to that double silo area in front, so long as they don't get hit by an SI hit in between them. Like, they have the ability to do that on anything, but now that they're on their home server, they might be more apt to take risks like that just because they can. I think it's also something where, all right, on the Hot Dog Water side, you really just have to try to go for maximum damage on that. Like, if you get a triple cap or something for a wipe, that's amazing, of course. But they need to just take what they can get each time they have the opportunity to do so, because it's going to be a bit harder, I would say, to try to get, like, super good SI hits on a team that's been as put together as South Stars have been so far.
Yes, especially on that green ping, it makes it even more difficult to try to do much. But we are just waiting for one more ready up. The opening attack, we don't have a quad on the spec HUD this time. It's going to be a Spitter, Jocker, a Spitter, a Jockey, Charger, and a Smoker for the opening attack. As survivors are slowly pushing out, they know the charge could come, so they're going to take this very slow. Survivor ghosting, Ellis pushing out, trying to take the spawns up. It looks like the SI are set up around the building and one on the roof. So we'll see when they want to commit this. And Survivor's still taking it very slow. The attack's actually going to come in. A pull goes out. Jockey gets M2'd. Charger takes Rochelle. There goes the charge spin as well. Oh, it's so much damage in the spin.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Holy
Rails.
shit, dude.
6 health, Rails.
Oh my goodness.
6
That
health.
was the opposite of a caster curse. We were literally like, it's going to be hard to get hits on them because they're low ping, and then they just disintegrate right out of the safe room, unfortunately. I think that, yeah, that was 94 damage done to Slay, and then good chip damage on Kyo and Knock. He's not going to take his pills yet either, and that's going to set up the SI for another great hit opportunity. Hunter, Smoker, Boomer, and Charger for this hit, and the Survivors, because Slay is staying slow, they have the opportunity to make this happen. Hunter is going to get taken out pretty quickly. There is the charge, managing to land. Single boom goes out, and Goku going for the quick pull onto Slay, who is at 4 HP. They're going to have to down him prior to this tank fight.
I agree. Minimal damage did go out there. There were some good clears on the cappers that did land, so there wasn't much damage in that. They do put the down now, so they could pick up Rochelle's, so Slay can pop his pills before this tank does come up, as there's quite a bit of common going out. They don't want to push forward too fast here, as the tank is actually already up, and the attack goes in. Hunter lands with the spit as well. Jockey gets deleted as it wasn't. The charge through the spit, it doesn't land in it, but takes a little bit extra damage. It's cleared without any pounds. Not a bad attack before the tank, as the tank does spawn in the hands of Vegeta.
Tank is up in the hands of Vegeta, aka Vac, for Team Hot Dog Water. Let's see what he can make happen here. Trying to throw a curve rock around the corner, not quite finding it. And he is playing with about 219 ping, so his arms, for their sake, we're hoping they're consistent and they would be long that way, but there are points as well where tank punches just don't make any sense when you get the much higher ping. He is going to be rotating to this right-hand side. They're shipping him on Survivor side as well. Boomer, Smoker, and Hunter for this first hit. I'm not sure if he wants to commit exactly with this because he's going to be railed that entire way, and indeed the Boomer is going to die.
Yes, it is. It looks like that might have just been a sack, hoping it would land, but the tank's going to reposition. Actually, I'm not sure what he's got. It looks like he's just going to elect to come from the front because last time when he went around the back, they just pushed forward and kited him the whole way, taking lots of damage. But luckily they capitalized on it. But they don't want that same thing to happen, as the tank's going to commit from the front, taking a little bit of chip, about 800 before he even gets there. Spawns are actually spawning early. Pull misses, not able to land. Tank's at about 3,000 HP, dropping fast. The Jockey lands and Smoker land on the same target. Punch goes out to Rochelle. Hunter gets skeeted. A pull goes out onto Ellis and is cleared right away. That might just be one cap, as he actually no, he's going to get out Rails with about 1,000 health.
This is actually a really important in cap because Slay is going to be black and white the rest of this map now. So of all the things that could have happened there, you kind of might have wished he got a bit more damage onto the permanent HP, and he's going for a punch right there. Not quite going to land it, however. Charger's going to be going in too. The one silver lining as that Boomer gets popped for Hot Dog Water is that they have one survivor that they can kill. And that would be huge if they find a way to get that by, again, stacking that damage. The health bonus is actually higher than the DB at this point. The DB is at 31%. So this is still a really good special infected job from Team Hot Dog Water so far. And they just got to keep maximizing these hits, especially the one inside the sugarcane mill here.
They missed the pills as well, Rails. They checked the one house, but not the other. Actually, a separation pull. Pull gets cleared. Pounce in the front, also cleared immediately. And the Jockey, lives a Jockey life, bullied and shot in the face. And the Spitter's killed at the end with minimal damage across the board.
Unfortunately, that would have been an amazing Smoker pull, but the thing is he probably would have needed to get a few yards back just because of those Uzis being able to clear at such long range, relatively speaking to how they used to be, right? And, okay, they're going to have a 3-cap again here at the very least, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, Charger, Hunter, Smoker, and a Boomer for this hit, but they got to probably save it for when the Survivors get closer. I feel like if they were to send it now, South Stars would literally just hold W all the way up through the choke, and they got to get some decent damage here. Hunter's pre-spawned inside, going for scratches onto Knock, and actually getting a few. He's going to be slow.
Yeah, it looks like they were sacking the Hunter and hope to get probably a Jockey for the top. I might have wanted to send the Boomer as well, maybe just that, but they can't rush this choke point. They know they have 3 spawns up, so it could be dangerous right here for Team South Stars, as they send a slow survivor up first, which is probably... Oh, Smoker actually gets baited, not able to land on anything, all the way down to 68 HP as the last spawns come up. Is that Jockey? So they do have the attack they want for this choke point. As this here it comes right now, Jockey's actually going out, not able to land, gets M2'd shot in the face. Charger's coming up, probably just going to get mowed down, doesn't land on anything, and the Boomer's just waddling around below, trying to get a proxy. And nope, just dies, and that's going to be the attack.
Great take right there by South Stars. They played it at the level that they needed to in terms of how they took that slowly, cautiously. The thing about it was on the last server, they did the same thing where they sent the slow survivor up and that survivor got charged off. But that time they were able to pick that smoker down to about 60-some HP before they managed to get to the top of the stairs, really weakening that hit. And now this is going to be a question of, okay, how much damage can they get right now while the survivors are bleeding? But then they need to put a lot of their faith in that Cane Field hit, I would say. They're going to be sending 3 SI to the side there. Smoker Pole going to go out, and then 100 pounds to go down on top of that as well. Smoker body blocking Keo in the spit for an in cap. That is huge. They're going to have one survivor at least permaslow for this field.
Yes, indeed, Rails, but the bonus suffered quite a bit from that attack. I think, yeah, it was able to get it under 250. That was not bad at all. It was about 100 points of damage from that attack, even though they all hit one survivor.
It was perfect because they were able to get the in cap there to flick the damage bonus and also get the health bonus down because Keo still had some prior to that. Boomer does get the quad boom, jumping off the side. Hunter going for the scratch, very cheekily, I would say, and is still alive, obviously, but that could have been bad had one of those pinners died. Keo and Nock both going to be slow with Keo holding that set of pills. Honestly, I kind of want to have 3 fast if I'm on Survivor right now, barring the fact that Slay is black and white. And I think they found another set of pills, so they gave that to Nock as Keo did commit those. It is the quad, however, with that jockey going in the back, landing on Rochelle. Smoker's getting the cover, and there's the Hunter landing too. Hunter is going to get cleared along with that Smoker as the Charger goes in for punches, almost gets an in cap onto Nock, but still just about 100 more damage going out onto that bonus.
Yeah, they do manage to get it down to 141. Ideally, they wanted the wipe, but they will have one more opportunity for damage. A pull goes out, actually gets cleared relatively quick, only gets 3 damage from the pull. And he's going to have a 2-1 Boomer Spitter and a Jockey. So the bonus is down to 108, though, Rails. They almost kind of below 100, which is not bad, but let's see what they could do at the end here with these broken spawns. Boomer gets a proxy boom onto 1. Jockey's not able to get onto anything, and there goes the spit. And let's see if it ticks anything. And no, it doesn't spread favorably. Hunter might get a scratch or 2, and I think that'll be the safer.
Indeed, it shall be. That is going to be the bonus under 100 points, just 97 for the Survivor side here. But that's going to be a total score of 4,812 to 4,484 in favor of Hot Dog Water. This next map is huge because they have the Cane Field to navigate. They have the tank that could potentially be on the second floor or in the open, depending on the transition. But if they can kill that tank and also not get abused in the field, they could easily make the safe room with a couple 100 health bonus, even though they have the high ping.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I liked how the team South Star was able to take on their away server on maps 1 and 2. They were down much more to Hot Dog Water, but Hot Dog Water actually, even though they lost the chapters, Rails, they kept it a lot closer than it was on the first half, by a lot.
Yeah, their SI is making this extremely interesting, and they're managing to get as far as they did on Survivor side. They made map 1, they almost made map 2. If they can just avoid catastrophe here, that would be the huge thing. But I'd say so far, this is the most dangerous chance that Team South Stars have throughout the entirety of both games in this match to do a whole bunch of damage on Special Infected side. I would expect to see them maybe ditch the Spitter this time and go for the boom or the quad, because if you land a boom on any Survivor with high ping, it's of course extremely detrimental for them, but in this field it could be death because those common come from everywhere and you can see absolutely nothing as you're already playing a PowerPoint presentation. So that's really not good for the Survivors.
No, indeed it is not, but curious to see what they actually are going to do. We're waiting for 2 Survivors to ready up. One's away. Maybe they're talking about it. It looks like the Spitter is in position to probably sack itself right away. Curious to see exactly what they're going to do. They do have to set the tank spawn, though. I believe it has to be set to 44. They're doing that now. All right, so that I was curious because we're about to ready up and they didn't set it. We are getting the final ready up coming in. Again, Jockey, Hunter, Spitter, and a Charger for the opening attack. Let's see if they're going to sack the Spitter. And they do right away. Free Spit goes out. He actually gets 5 damage for his attempt, so not too bad. I would take it. Free 5 damage, Rails.
Honestly, as objectively as possible, I think that's the best play there, just because it does slow them down a bit, and now it puts them in this awkward spot where they've got between 1-200 ping, and they're walking into 3/4 of an SI hit already with the Smoker actually being the last spawn. So it's not a Boomer, it is a quad, and the Smoker can pull from behind to set this up. That's what we're going to be seeing. Hunter's going to land, but then it's going to get instantly clear. The Charger lands, though, along the pipe. There is the Jockey landing as well. They managed to clear the Charger, but that Jockey is still going. That was a lot of hits going out onto that. And honestly, that's a solid hit, but it could have been so much worse.
Yes, it was. I was really impressed with that Charger clear. Only giving them 1 pound. So they are able to clear it, knowing there's a 2-2 at the top of this. Boomer's probably going to sack, though. But all in all, Rails, I think I would be happy with that if I'm hotdog water on the low ping, taking an attack like that in the field and still getting the clears when a charge a mile away went out right away.
Yeah, those Uzis did a good amount of work there. They do manage to kill the Spitter, but not the Hunter, who did drop behind them there. Boomer and Smoker for the rest of the hit, and that Hunter does get a pretty quick despawn. What I think we're going to see here, though, is we're going to be seeing Team Hotdog Water being forced to make a choice as to whether they want to push out or stay inside, and they are going to be going out. Boomer's going to spawn up top. There's the double boom, and the tank is close enough to commit. One survivor's on the ground. This is about to be absolutely hectic. That's going to be the Horde catching up with Rochelle, who is still jumping. There's the corner going out with that boom still going, but the survivor gets hit away. Coach is going to get hit instead as they're trying to kill that Horde. Tank is down to 2k, and the survivors are just going forward. That's going to be the Hunter getting skeeted. Oh my god. They're going to get out of that situation, dodging that rock. They went all the way forward. Knock is still in, under 2k. He can still do work here. Smoker is spawned up, trying to go for Nick, but the survivors have to keep going forward. They can fight him maybe in that corner. This area right now is not where they want to be. Charger's going to try to spawn up as well, but the survivors are going to make it outside all the way forward with no incaps off a double boom and a committing tank. That could win them this match.
What a play, Rails. What a play. You never want to run into Horde when the tank's up, but they said, screw that. Let's run for it. We're going to clear it. We're going to make it to a more advantageous spot. We know your tank is messed up. We're going to take it here. Charge is actually going to spawn from behind.
Oh, no!
Charge onto someone blindly, walks into it. A pull cover goes out. Jockey gets F2. Takes a free survivor. There's so much damage going out right now, Rails, but it's going to be a dead tank. They're going to survive. There's 2 incaps.
Oh my goodness, that tank did work with that little amount of health. That charge just randomly landed off a free charge there onto Rochelle with the Jockey getting the cover. It's 2 incaps off what very easily could have been a wipe. Southstar salvaged that a bit, but still the play was made by the survivors to kite all the way out of that boom horde, and the spawns just were not ready for that whatsoever. You saw them kind of scrambling around to get above them or behind them, but they had no time to react to that call. And now if Team Hotdog Water can take this hit cleanly, they could make the safe room with this bonus and turn this into a nail biter of a game, as it already has been. Double boom going out, managing to land the charge, and that's going to be a Hunter landing onto one of the green survivors, as Wiz is going to take some more damage, but they should be able to kill this Spitter and then make their way up top, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yes, they're actually going to pop the last set of pills, so they keep all 4 survivors slow. They may only need to take 1 more attack. Bonus at 349 on the way server after the tank. I'm pretty happy with that right now, but they're going to have to take this final attack most likely. The attack's coming up is going to be a Jockey, Smoker,
oh,
Boomer.
God.
Oh, the pole goes down. He's got to go all the way around now, Rails.
Yeah, so Mars is getting pulled down, and the Jockey's going to land onto her as well. The Boomer lands too, and they manage to get the clear through the wall, but that Charger is not going to have the same fate. Mars is going to be incapped by this, and it was just that Smoker pull off the top that made all of this possible. She actually might die from these common. If they have anything in spawn, they control this right now, and that is going to be the death onto Rochelle. Oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate for Hotdog Water, and it was the Smoker that made the play.
That was a great pull, Rails. That's the MVP Smoker for the round, Rails. What a great pull. Causes survivors have to go all the way back to pick her up, and they didn't get it. For all that, they should have just left her from the beginning, but they didn't want to. A last attack is probably coming up again now that I said that. Jockey's actually up top. Smoker's trying to go in. It is a 2-2. Boomer gets a rocket from the... Gets a triple
oh,
boom.
God.
Oh,
God.
Well, the bonus is now gone, Rails.
That is so brutal. Oh, my God. Yo, those last 2 hits where they got Rochelle separated, and then again, we see this just spit murder go out the same way we did on map 4 of last half. Like, that is such incredible SI play, but also, man, if you could just have avoided that on Survivor side, if they hadn't gone back, if they managed to stay low, if they had just gotten past that pipe, they're making it in with 300 more bonus, and that is non-negligible in a situation like this. Yes, they have opportunities still, but they could have really put the pressure on South Stars by making this an over 1K point game going into the Survivor side map 3 on their home. This match has not disappointed in any way, shape, or form on either of these servers.
No, indeed. It's very some very entertaining attacks coming out here. I love the way they took the tank forward and just pushing through the common, pushing it away, shooting the tank, almost making the safe room with a decent bonus. But South Stars Smoker had other plans. As the Spitter's actually going to go out and stack, does not get the spit block. Actually, they're just going to run through it, Rails, and take the field. They don't even care. They ran through the spit. Each one of them took about 10 damage or more.
Yeah, that's 36 damage off a free spit. You'll be happy with that on the SI side. Jockey's going in already a little bit prematurely, I would say. Hunter's going in from the back as well, but Charger lands a beautiful double charge off of that with a pound going out onto Ellis. Oh my goodness, this is just... Both teams want this win so badly, and it's the SI plays that we're seeing be the real difference here. If they manage to get the same kind of situation that they managed to survive, right, on Survivor side with that double boom, like that is the ideal commit for that tank in that area. They could also make it happen. They're going to make South Stars be extremely careful on their Survivor side, and honestly, they could, with the lower ping, sure, fine, fight it on second floor, but Goku, aka Spirit, is going to be trying to do absolute work on this tank. The Boomer falls all the way at the bottom and does get popped, so it's going to be a Smoker and a Jockey, the only 2 spawns up for this transition. I think they push outside now.
They could, but it could be dangerous if they push too. Nope, they're going to make it safely. Tank spawn's going to come up. They're going to push right out too, Rails. I think if I'm the tank here, you might want to commit right away, but it looks like he's not going to. He's just going to reposition and
he's going in.
Going right away, Rails. His spawns are all up. He has a tri-cap. A lot of horde in right now. Actually, Ellis is locked up behind. Gets an M2 on the Jockey without even looking.
Oh!
Charge and a pounce land. Hunter is cleared right away. Charger is cleared as well. 1 pound went out. A punch goes. Tank whiffs up another punch. Oh, he gets another punch. Still at 2K health. Another punch onto Coach. So much damage. He's still at 1K health. I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything else. That might be it.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision to commit that. I kind of like it, but the SI, they did what they could with that Charger and that Hunter landing. It's good damage for that. It's another situation now where it's going to be the rest of the hits in this map that are going to decide exactly how close this game is going to be going into map 4, solely because South Stars still are holding a 600-point bonus to their name. Sure, they take the end cap and they commit 2 sets of pills, but in that area, that's honestly fine. And if they can just make their way through these next couple of chokes, they're going to be in brilliant position to take the lead right here.
Yes, they can. 606 bonus at the moment, Rails. Very high pre-tank. This attack they have is a Hunter, Spitter, Jockey, and a Smoker to deal with. There is no Charger, but there could be some good damage right at this next choke. As you can see, Survivor is taking this very cautiously. Hunter's actually going to pre-spawn. The attack is coming in. Jockey spawns as well. Nothing's actually going into land yet. Everything is just spawned up at the moment. Kind of awkward.
Anxious situation there, as we do see the Smoker pull now go out in the back. Jockey looking for something as well. Jockey's going to land in the front. Hunter's going to take that target. There is a Jock Pounce Spit going out onto Loud for a decent bit of damage, knocking that bonus down to 518, and Slay also steps in it just for a split second. And they are eating their pills now too, so it's under 500 bonus, but still looking extremely nice on the side of South Stars. They're going to have a charge hit to deal with as they go forward, but so long as they navigate it well, they should be finding the safe room here.
Yes, indeed. The might be the final attack coming up. Boomer's actually going to go in. Not able to. He does get a proxy onto 1. He has a tri-cap, no smoker for the transition hit here. I think they're going to hold for the last spawn. This is a good attack to go in here with. Jockey's going to pre-spawn. Let's see if anything goes in. Looks like they're going to wait for that last spawn, Rails. They're elected not to go in right away.
Yeah, they're being patient because in an inside room like that, everything's probably getting cleared, honestly, from that. Now they have a quad they can send right here because they have room all over the Survivors, but there's the Skeet that goes out. That is going to be a Jockey and almost a triple cap landing, but it's a devastating dual cap with this Charger getting punches as well. That's going to be a full in cap onto Loud. Oh my goodness. Once again, the bonus just getting decimated by a last hit. That
was huge, Rails. They needed that. They needed that hit before the safe room. I believe they'll actually slightly hold on to the lead going into the final map of this campaign.
Oh
as
my.
Team Stars make the safe room, bringing their total chapter score to 5,288 for the campaign, as the other team, Team Hot Dog Water, is 5,362 rails, less than 100 points going into the final map of this match.
It's a 74-point game cumulative going into map 4. Hot Dog Water hanging on for dear life to that lead. If that charger had landed there, that was close to a wipe. Like, that honestly could have been something completely insane. It was already a devastating 2-cap. And now, I mean, this tank is everything for both sides. If Hot Dog Water wipe here, you could easily just see South Stars hold W and take the win. But if Team Hot Dog Water are able to survive the tank and then make it, they could put so much onto that tank and play it differently than they did in the last half. Because in the last half, you saw the tank commit really not with any hittables in this spot, and then another tank getting AI'd. I think both teams are looking forward to having another chance to play this tank, especially on the special infected side, and it all comes down to these hittable plays that we are going to see, I say, probably come out from both sides in this position. But also, if you remember, we saw a devastating hit from Team South Stars on last map 4 that involved a double boom and a triple cap. If Hot Dog Water can avoid that, they'd be in great position right here, because if they manage to make the safe room with a good amount of bonus, that's all the pressure on
Yes,
South
indeed.
Stars.
Yes, indeed. And since this is home away, due to this map having the points lowered and the hittables having a huge factor, I think home away is a less fact coming into this map. They do have about 70-some point lead rail, so I think it's almost dead even going in here, even though they're in the lead on their away server. I think it's about 50-50 chance who's ever going to win. It's going to be on this tank and the hittables, to be honest with you. Or if we see the first hitman again, like we did last map 4 on the other server rails.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the same hit, though. Yeah, this is a much better hit for the survivors to deal with. Hunter, Smoker, Boomer, and Spitter for it. It's going to be a Keo tank as well for Team South Stars. He's going to try to do work as much as he possibly can. Boomer is going to land a double boom before getting M2'd out the door by Ellis and then shut down. But this time, I think we see Hot Dog Water stay in the safe room for a bit.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. Even though they know there's not a tri-cap to deal with, they're going to clear out all these common before they choose to go forward. I don't think they'll have their full attack up. As they're going out now, a Pound Spit does land, is cleared right away. A pull goes out for a little bit of damage, but all in all, 11% off the bonus on the opening attack on the 2-2. Not too shabby if your team South Star. I would be happy with that. It wasn't the greatest, but we do have a tank up in the hand of Q.
Oh yeah, Keo is going to look to make the most of this. He's not going back to get his alarm car. He's going to play with these 2 sedans in the front, plus that 1 God car, similar to what we saw on the last server. Charger, Jockey, Boomer for the hit as he's setting these cars up. They're chipping him just a little bit, but they're going to be ultra careful to block those spawns. Plus, they cannot allow a pull forward or something ridiculous like that to happen. Jockey is up, and the car's going in! Not going to land, though, onto Ellis and to Nick, but I think they probably had a moment where they collectively shat themselves just because of how close that hatchback came to them. Tank has 2 cars to play with in front now, and MK, he's just waiting for the right moment.
Yes, indeed. He hit that hittable up there, and the survivors parted like the Red Sea. They were like, nope, not having it. Jumped off each other's side, took minimal damage as they're clearing out the common at this moment from the boom that did land. The car hit, probably not in the worst position, but not where he wants it. It's going to be a tank commit with the Smoker, Jockey, and the Hunter here. Actually, he's just taking control of the roof, not actually going in at the moment.
This is very similar to what we saw on South Star's Survivor side last time, but the tank is going to be going for these sedans from the bottom as the survivors are going to be trying to work their way back up top, and there's the in-cap going out onto Mars from the hittable. That sedan landing right as she was trying to get back onto the roof. Keo pushing the survivors into that corner, missing a punch though, as the rest of the team is still alive, but now he's got the corner onto Wiz, and there's nobody really shooting him at the same time. Ellis pushing that Jockey back around. Tank missing punches onto Coach, but now he does manage to get that corner in the in-cap. 3 SI going in, trying to get Ellis around that side. Smoker's gonna die. Hunter gets cleared. Rock is going to land. Jockey trying to find it onto Nick. Tank pushing him back in the corner where there is a car, which he did not see. The last survivor up is going to be Ellis, aka Spirit. He has to try to kill this tank. He might even be close to being out of ammo. He's back in the safe room, coming back outside now, but Keo decommitting this tank. This went absolutely disastrous for Team Hot Dog Water. Boomer's gonna land, Charger's gonna whiff, Tank is going for this car the best that he possibly can, going to launch it up, over, and down! That is the wipe coming out from Team South Stars. MK, what a tank fight!
Oh my days, Rails. I don't even know what to say. I was speechless. He gets the first car hit over the top of by the ladder from the beginning, and then the survivors just focused the SI too much there at the end, Rails. I think they should have just stayed with the tank and killed it.
Indeed, they should have, but I think ammo may have been a question there. The thing now is that, okay, the survivors are going to spawn the tank, and like I said, if they W just a bit further forward, this is a game of distance points. They very easily could just win the match by doing that. God Keo coming out in Survivor chat. Never doubted him, of course. And Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, Spitter for this first hit. What a demoralizing way for Hotdog Water to start this. Spirit almost clutched it too by being able to kill that tank with the higher ping. They just managed to get the better of them in that particular instance. It's going to be Mars's tank as well for Team Hotdog Water, MK.
Yes, it will be. Still, the opening attack is yet to go in. A little bit of baiting going on. 2-2 is the opening attack. Hunter's to the right of the safe room. It supports on top of this top, and the Smokers by the truck. The 2-boom goes out. Hunter and the Pounce at the same time with a spit. Actually, a not bad opening attack. A lot of damage going out on the two survivors, taking one all the way down to 61 and one all the way down to 71. Good opening attack, Rails.
Man, it's less than 100 points. Less than 100 points. Good opening attack again, but Mars needs to play for this wipe, of course, in this position. It's going to be a jockey and two other spawns for the first hit coming up. That car is going flying into the air, not going to land, but it's in a decent spot in the back. This hatchback hit could be huge. Boomer, jockey, and charger for the hit for Hotdog Water here. Tank is getting chipped as well. Hatchback goes up and over onto the roof, so it's in a pretty decent spot. And the SI might be able to use that as some kind of spawn, but you look at how aggressive the survivors are being. They know if they can take that forward spot, that's almost a guaranteed kill. Boomer is not going to land either there, MK. This is a precarious spot for our SI.
Yes, it is. Tank's taken about 700 chips so far. He has the car in a pretty good position. Still left the car alarm up as well. It looks like he's repositioning, about to get his car all the way down to 3,700 HP. This is probably going to be the commit. He has a jockey and a charger as a support. The final support's not up yet. He's already down to 2,200 HP. Charger misses, not able to land. Support's not landing anything. Hunter's trying to go out as well. Hunter not able to land.
Oh, they shot the car!
They shot the car alarm. It went out, but this tank is almost dead. Fist going out onto Ellis. Ellis gets charged. But he does get cleared. He might get in-capped.
Yeah.
He does get in-capped, but he's alone. It's a dead tank, Rails.
That is a dead tank, and that is the match. Team South Stars, so long as they don't get randomly wiped here, getting this pickup, they are going to be winning this match and improving to 3-0 in the Quarantine Anniversary Tournament. A couple of steps will give it to them, as these scores that you're seeing in real time are the real scores. And there it is. So South Stars, they don't lead until the very end of the game on their home server, but that tank wipe by Keo was everything they could have possibly asked for. As that smoker pole does go out onto Coach, Jockey gets M2'd and shut down. The rest of it is just a formality now for how many points they're going to be scoring throughout the tournament. But MK, this is one of the closest home and away games I've seen in a very long time.
Yes, it has, Rails. It came down to the tank wipe that's going to decide it for the one team. And the team on the away server did get wiped by the tank early on this chapter, which is going to be the reason, unfortunately, they're going to lose this match. But they're going to try to still make it as close as possible. They have a 2-2 attack with a Charger, Boomer, Spitter, and a Hunter. It looks like they're going to wait inside, probably at the drop, just trying to show face, put as much damage as they can on the board, and try to make it a little bit closer, as it was one of the amazing matches we saw so far in this Quarantine Cup. Hunter's going in for a wall kick. He actually gets shut down. Charger lands. Spit goes out. Actually gets spit blocked from Coach. And Coach is going to choose to run through it and take a little bit of damage with a proxy boom going out up top. So they will get one quad try, I think, right at the end, Rails. But unfortunately, this game is already decided.
Indeed it is. I mean, and huge commiserations to Hotdog Water. They put on a great show. They managed to match one of these teams that's been playing, for years upon years. And honestly, it just came down to a couple of those hits. You can say what happened on their home server is one thing, but this map 4 here, still it can be the turn chapter in a game like this, as we've just seen. Jockey's gonna land, Charger into double charge. Hunter is going for the pin, not going to land. It's a beautiful triple cap by Team Hotdog Water, going out in style right here at the end. Smoker's gonna get cleared. That was so close to a quad.
Oh, that would have been a great way to end it, Rails. Wouldn't have, but unfortunately they did get the clear. They decimated the bonus from 700 something all the way down to 252, but it is going to bring to the end of the campaign with South Stars winning from the score of 5,940 to Team Hot Dog Water to 5,417. What a game, Rails. What a game.
What an incredible match to have right here on Hard Rain. The difference was literally one map or less, depending on how you look at it, right? And going forward now, okay, Hot Dog Water have a lot more time to congeal as a team, and they can really, really look what they did well in this game and go forward and keep trying to just, play with as many scrims as they can to get more chemistry on SI. And it's something that happens in those huge moments where if like a hittable lands or if somebody gets like two separate or quad cap, like those can be the game-changing moments that happen more often in matches than they do in other types of games. But they should be extremely happy with how they played, and they gave a hell of a fight to one of the teams that's been all over the international competition for the past few years. So commiserations, huge commiserations to Hot Dog Water, and congratulations to South Stars, particularly for Kyo's tank wipe there on that fourth map. That was just huge.
Yes, it was. It was amazing to watch this match, and it was actually an honor to watch it as well, Rails, and as well as an honor to cast it with you, my friend.
Thank you. I am so happy that I was able to have this be my first match, and I'm sure that I'm going to have a couple others coming up. I'm not 100% sure what Vanille's schedule is going forward for. Are there other matches tonight or no?
No, there's no more for this evening. I don't think so, right? Vanille?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there is anymore. I think there's a few tomorrow, though.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are usually the big games for that. But so on behalf of just the casting team, I guess here, right? Like, thank you to everybody for watching, and thank you for seeing a game like that. I want to thank the tournament administrators, of course, Blue and Discreet, I believe, is the moderator as well. I think Spirit might be one too, just for the work that they do to organize these things. And then I'll pass it back to you, MK, for any other last words before we sign it off.
No, I was just saying thank you for, again, thanks to admins for making this tournament possible. Thanks for casting me with Rails, and of course, Vanille, for you casting as well, and camera womaning. And most important, thank you, the fans, for watching us and making it possible.
Of course. So, all right, have a great rest of your night, everyone, and we hope to see you soon, most likely tomorrow, for more of that round 3 quarantine action.
All right, good night.
Good night.